especially when the Crimson Tide come calling. Bama's Heisman quarterback Bryce Young gets his first taste of this tonight. He is well prepared and well rested off a bye week. His buddy from Pop Warner football leads LSU, Jaden Daniels, a dynamic, electric quarterback, a touchdown machine the last couple of games, arrives with surging confidence. Welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway. In this presentation of the SEC on ESPN, a top 10 matchup, the Crimson Tide and the LSU Tigers, Dr. Pepper Championship Drive, game of the week. And welcome, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe joins us from the field. First Saturday in November. Nick Saban's back in town. LSU, Alabama. There is a passion and a wildness to these matchups.
There are just certain games when the two uniforms get on the field together, it's just right, let alone when it's here in Death Valley at night with LSU and Alabama and Nick Saban on the opposing sideline. Let's go. I can't wait to watch it.
Whatever team wins has the driver's seats in the SEC West. In the East, Georgia has taken command. They had heard all the hype about Tennessee, the Volunteers number one of the rankings. Stetson Bennett was inspired. Look at him dive for the pylon to set the tone. Boom.
Yeah, he definitely sets the tone. Opening drive, has a little attitude. I guess people got to sell. They're calling him all night. He plays with an attitude to begin with. Next possession, and he throws the football downfield. Georgia out early and up big.
Washington toe tap in the end zone. Georgia's defense, though, is the story, diffusing the high-flying offense. Here's Keely Ringo, the hero of the championship game with that pick. Another one here.
Yeah, great job by the secondary, matching up one-on-one. But really, like most SEC games, it was the line of scrimmage. Georgia at home just too physical at the line of scrimmage. Tennessee couldn't run the ball. Game was over.
So Georgia in command of the East. If Alabama can win this ball game, yet another rematch between those teams in Atlanta. But the Tide haven't played that well on the road at Texas. You know, the loss at Tennessee. None of the players experienced this with a full house. You're here in the COVID year, but it was not the same.
And Alabama, I think, wants to go on the road and be able to put it together. You know, it's been a little bit of a theme over the last couple years. They haven't played their best football. We'll find out how much they've improved in that area. And they're going to play a team that I think is improved greatly from where they were week one.
LSU has certainly improved. 39 scholarship players when Brian Kelly took over in year one. The jury was out, but they have had consecutive wins over the Gators and the Rebels. And they roll in tonight with belief. Alabama, LSU in Death Valley. Buckle up and enjoy.
Championship Drive Game of the Week.
Now's the time to go fight the fight. It's also the time when we create an identity for the team.
This is going to be a really tough game.
With Alabama coming into town, we still have work to do.
We're going to kick that door in, and that's how we play LSU football. We're not done.
We understand what's at stake, what our goals are.
LSU defense for you!
And being able to end their college football playoff hopes, it'll be very intense.
Coaching matchup tonight, the two guys with the most active wins. All divisions in the sport. Holly Rowe with Brian Kelly.
Coach, you've accomplished a lot in college football, but this is your first LSU-Alabama game. How do you help your team maximize the energy and environment tonight?
Well, maintain it, by playing well. I mean, obviously, they've got to be able to keep this crowd in the game by playing well against a great football team.
You talked to me about slow starts. How can you help your team? What have you done so they get out to a good start?
Yeah, I think, they got to just focus on the fundamentals. They kind of get ahead of themselves a little bit. And if I think they just focus on doing their job early on, we'll be fine.
Thank you, Coach. Have fun tonight.
They have not been locked in from the start. Time and again, they have fallen behind early. And Jaden Daniels, who's over from Arizona State, has been a perfect fit for this offense. And Kirk will get a chance to see his talents on display. Tigers get the football first as Saban won and deferred.
Nick Saban knows he's dealing with a quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who is a problem because of his mobility and the way he can create.
Will Riker to boot it away. Noah Kane, who came here from Penn State, back to receive it. And he'll step up at the 7. Payne, part of the running back rotation, barrels out near the 30. Tonight's player spotlight brought to you by Royal Caribbean. 11 total touchdowns in the last 2 games. Can the Tide contain him as a runner? It's a big topic this week.
It really is. I mean, they're not going to be shy about getting him involved in the run game. He obviously is a big factor, and Alabama likes to play with 2 safeties back. Tonight we're going to find out if they're going to have to commit a safety down, and once they do that, LSU is going to have to win one-on-one on the outside. Right now they start with 2 deep.
Josh Williams, a former walk-on, has stepped into an important role as a running back, and he's got the first catch out of the backfield, but not much there. Tracking him down is Brian Branch, a short gain.
He gets the ball out. You're going to see that tonight. How do you attack Alabama when you have 2, think about this, fans, 2 true freshmen offensive tackles for LSU. The ball better get out fast against Will Anderson.
Have you ever seen that?
No, Will Anderson and Dallas Turner, ball better get out, you better run the quarterback.
As Daniels on the edge, and Bootsy couldn't get quite the block that he needed. DeMarco Helms forces them out and a quick 3rd down.
The Helms and these safeties have been schooled all week on the importance of keeping their eyes on number 5 and respecting the potential threat on early downs of him running the football. He was in perfect position there. Didn't bite down at all. Was able to push him out of bounds. Now we're going to first 3rd down, which will be a big part of this game. Keep an eye on these tackles. How do they hold up?
4 receivers set to the right. Five-man rush. Daniels under pressure, gets it out. Catch made. Slung down right away as Malik Neighbors. Let's see the spot. It's near the marker. Kool-Aid McKinstry stopped him. The pressure from To'oto'o. It's a first down.
To'oto'o, I think, hits him late. Watch Ted coming around on his stunt. Turner goes underneath. He hits him and hits him hard late. The flag is down. So they're going to throw 15 yards on top of this and potential targeting with him lowering the head. We'll see what the replay shows when we get a little bit of a closer look.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
To'oto'o, a Butkus semifinalist. Welcome to Bama, Tennessee, Jaden Daniels. And Bill, what was your take on this as a targeting?
Looked to me like he came straight up. There was high contact, but I didn't see him dip. I didn't see any indicator of a thrust. But it's a good call for roughing the passer.
There's a move to protect quarterbacks in college football. You've seen it in different conferences. It's enforced differently, conference by conference, but this penalty sets up the Tigers at the Tide 46. We talked about the passion and the wildness of this rivalry. You see it in the first couple plays. Daniels on the move, outrunning Will Anderson. A flag is down as Daniels scoots out after an 8-yard gain, but this was in the holding zone. And Williamson in charge of this SEC crew tonight.
And the true freshman, again, not the right tackle 50. To me, I think it was Will Campbell, the left tackle against Dallas Turner. That's the guard. There are a couple holes up there.
Look at Anthony Bradford. These dudes know they will have their hands full, and that's a major concern for Kelly. Kirk, how could he help out those freshman tackles?
Well, the way you help out is you run the football. You get the quarterback going, but there's 75 to your left. I see the hold on the far right. Once Turner gets by him, see 66 grab a hold of his jersey. There's another on the left, like 57. There are a lot of holds there across the board.
Ball back in Tiger territory in 1st and 20. They plow up the middle with Williams.
And just to finish that thought on how do you protect them in these obvious passing situations, it's got to be a combination of chipping, trying to help out, especially against Will Anderson, who'll be on the offense, is normally on the right side, and then you've got to be able to move that launch point. You cannot sit back there when you have a mobile quarterback who's comfortable throwing on the run. Get him outside, and especially changing it up on 3rd downs.
John Emery, Tigers excited to have him back healthy, joining Daniels in the backfield. They faked it to him. And Jaden takes a shot downfield, and it's out of bounds. No chance to make a play. Jeray Jenkins covered by McKinstry.
And here's an example. You've got a running back, and the back helps here, and then you bring the tight end down, and he also is going to try to help out on Will Anderson. You see that right tackle? He comes down. Now you got 2 guys potentially to try to help on Will Anderson. There's your answer right there. It's a combination of different things like that. The right tackle that time, the freshman, completely out of the picture. It was up to the running back there, Emery, and the big freshman tight end, Mason Taylor.
3rd and 15. Daniels gets it out quickly, and that's Neighbors going nowhere. Flying up to make the play was toe-to-toe, and it turns out that penalty will not cost the Tide.
Yeah, the penalty on the holding call that brings him backwards, it gets behind the sticks, cost LSU. Look at the leverage on the football. Obviously a tough call on 3rd and long. They just got the ball out quickly because of that pressure. But you gotta love, you're an Alabama fan, love the position of those defensive backs. Nowhere to go for that quick throw.
Jade Bramlett, who came over with Kelly from Notre Dame, package deal, is on the punt. He's a good punter, 3 years at Notre Dame, and he's up to a very solid start this season. Boots it up high, and McKinstry lets it bounce into the end zone. So we'll see Bryce Young and this Bama offense in this cauldron of noise for the first time coming up tonight.
I played Bryce when we were younger, in Little League football, Pop Warner. Beat his team a couple times.
We never were able to beat them. Back then when I used to play defense, the only person that's ever made me miss was Jaden.
Being both kids from Southern California, we're boys, we're close.
And that's someone I have a lot of respect for.
Great to see the relationship.
That's great.
Bryce, don't worry. Daniels makes a lot of guys miss. From the 20. Bama's first play tonight. Young looking to throw over the middle, and he's got a man in the slot. And that's Ja'Cory Brooks, has become a serious weapon for this offense.
This gives you an idea how much respect they have for Latu, the tight end, how he works here. Watch the linebacker and watch how he moves and looks to the inside. His eyes right here actually open the slant right behind him.
Bama a bye week since a pretty sluggish offensive performance the game we did in Tuscaloosa against State. Off the play action, flips it to Gibbs. And Gibbs is the top running back and the leading receiver on this offense. 2 weeks he's had a chance to throw the football, and he feels great tonight.
Yeah, he settles into the game so quickly, whether it's home or on the road. Such poise. Great to see that video and him talking about his relationship with Jaden Daniels. But watch his eyes tonight and watch how he plays when the pressure is the greatest. Is usually where he's his calmest.
Going to throw again, pats the ball, and finally finds that man Latu, the tight end, over the middle, and he's inside the 35.
Well, we saw Latu end up being a weapon, and they use him as a decoy. This time, watch the back coming out of the backfield. Gibbs, this time the linebacker bites on him, and there's the patience by Bryce Young to let Latu break free behind that. Great job both times of being patient, letting that linebacker clear out, and then making the throw.
Gibbs, first running play of the night, and the speedy transfer from Georgia Tech is loose, and he's down near the 15. Man, does he cut quickly.
He sure does. He's getting some great blocks up front. Seth McLaughlin up there at the center spot does a nice job of picking up a little bit of a kind of a slant from that LSU defensive line. He was not caught off by surprise at all. Did a nice job of clearing that and opening it up. And what acceleration upfield all year by Jahmyr Gibbs.
Tide very quickly in the red zone. Gibbs string it out. He still makes something of the run. Still gets 4 yards.
I'm with you. I'm like, oh wow, they've got him. They've got him pinned in. Nope. He looks like he was going to lose a few yards, and instead he gets positive yards there. LSU got penetration. It's exactly what you want to do on that slow developing play, is get into that backfield. And they had a couple different players. The leader of this defense, Baskerville, the linebacker, was there. He cut right underneath him.
Jace McClellan spells Gibbs a tailback. Young directing traffic. It's Burton who moves closer in the slot. McClellan following some blockers, weaving his way and fighting down inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal. Greg Penn stopped him.
Good job there of setting the edge. The right tackle, Latham, the big tight end, Latu, who's known for his ability to catch the ball, but man, he has become a complete player as an inline tight end. He also does a nice job, and then big Seth McLaughlin pulling around. open that up, and Gibbs does not need a lot of room.
3 passes, then 3 runs. Balance and execution in this opening drive for the Tide.
Apologize, it was McClellan, not Gibbs.
And it's just deafening down there at the end of the stadium. But the Tide look, as you said, key enough, their quarterback very calm so far.
Well, somebody's got to make a play. Why not the true freshman trying to get down in a hurry? Just anything you can do to help out. They think that Harold Perkins, as a true freshman, 40, has a chance to be the next superstar for this program that Brian Kelly is building in this defense with Matt House as a defensive coordinator.
Tigers desperate to make a play and not fall behind yet again. Last 4 opponents have scored touchdowns in their opening drive. Young steps up from the pocket and delivers a late throw into the end zone. Bad decision. Intercepted. Jarek Bernard Converse. An enormous play in the opening minutes.
He's looking to go to the 2 initially. Watch his eyes look off to the right. He wants to go there. He's locked up. Then he creates. This is where he's so good. But eyes on the quarterback. A rare decision that you don't see from Bryce Young, throwing behind his receiver, trying to make something happen early. The Tigers get the turnover and get the ball back.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Subway. Try the all-new Subway Series menu. Your pick of 12 irresistible subs. And in part by Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Hey, back in LSU's backyard. A loss at home to LSU, and they paid him back in the Superdome. So off the turnover. The 3rd time this year, by the way, Kirk, that LSU's had a takeaway in the red zone.
Right. Let's go back and show you. This is a no-look pass. I mean, Baskerville's closing in. He cannot see his target. He actually changes his arm angle, goes around that blitz, makes the throw, and kind of hopes. And again, a rare pass behind the receiver where Bernard Converse comes up with that pick.
The best free-form player in college football at the quarterback position, but his improv skills got him in trouble. You know, LSU, instead of falling behind instantly, little pep in their step as Williams gets a first down across the 30.
And I tell you why that's big is your offense makes a mistake on a holding call. You end up having to punt. Bama goes right down the field, a potential hold down 7-0. And now you get a first down. The game's kind of settling down. Now you get a little tempo going if you're LSU.
Expect them to use some tactical tempo. They're not really a hell-bent tempo team.
Yeah, Bama over the years, you want to try to crank it on when you can. Certain spots.
Daniels keeps it, cuts up, ducks down. And you see the suddenness, his ability to sort of maneuver in tight spaces.
Yeah, exactly right. He cut right underneath Dallas Turner. And again, all eyes are on him because of the respect they have and how much he's involved in their run game. But even there, it didn't look like he had much of anything. But as soon as he saw that he had this defense running sideways, he put that foot down, cut back behind them, and he gets positive yards.
More running yards than any quarterback in the country this season, even though he's 19th in attempts. It's because he is consistently moving the chains. They swing it in the flats. Emery, who is spun down, and a horse collar flag on the tackle by Dallas Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Obvious call.
Obvious call. Dallas Turner trying to hustle to make a play. Just had to pull back there. And just being aggressive, it cost him.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle. Defense number 15. 15-yard penalty.
Second personal foul early in this Tide defense. Money's worth. Ooh.
Yep. Emery's kind of been battling to try to get back from some injuries. Really a kind of one you pull aside there, Bill, for a clinic reel. Is that pretty obvious?
Yeah, that was a classic horse collar tackle. Exactly what the rule was made for. Caused his injury to the legs.
Last time the Tigers were set up here, they had a holding penalty spoil the drive. Keep it on the ground. Running into heavy traffic. Jaheim Oates, the true freshman tackle, stopped Emery.
Pete Golding, the defensive coordinator, making it pretty clear in these first couple drives, they're attacking with their linebackers. Pete, of course, the defensive coordinator, he's bringing downhill pressure. He wants to try to put LSU, take this running game away, put them in obvious passing situations, and then attack those freshman offensive linemen on the edges. But they've got to try to take away the running game on the early downs.
Attack is a good word. It's a defense playing downhill.
Yep.
Daniels rolls, scans, nobody open, and he'll just be shoved out of bounds on the far sideline. And Toa. 3rd and long coming up. Play impact players when LSU's got the ball.
I think LSU, you got to look at Booty on the outside, who's really improved. I think he's been able to get his feet settled with his new system. And Malik Neighbors, number 8. They've got a lot of different guys they like to get the ball to. Of course, Will Anderson and Eli Ricks, the LSU Tiger, who is now playing corner. He emerged in a game you and I had, really his first start. People thought he would start right away after transfer from LSU, and it took him some time to work himself in the lineup. And now here he is going up against his former team.
Emotional night for him.
Oh, yeah.
3rd and 11. They heat up the pocket. Daniels stands and delivers, but he was affected by the pressure and bounces the ball to Jenkins.
Boy, Josh Williams did his best job. He recognizes he's got a blitz. He's got to pick up from Brian Branch. He comes over to be able to help out. Watch this. Boom! Brian Branch pushes him right into the backfield. And give Jaden Daniels credit. He saw those crimson jerseys flashing. You'd think he would pull out of there and run. Instead, he sat in there, just could not deliver an accurate throw. Again, on 3rd down and long, Bama is coming after that offensive line.
1 sack and a bunch of quarterback pressures already on Daniels by this Bama defense. Twice, LSU's getting into Bama territory and stalled. And fair catch made at the 9-yard line by McKinstry. So Young, off the interception, goes back to work scoreless first quarter in Baton Rouge. Great Paul Bryant called this the toughest place for visiting teams, and he almost never lost here with his Bama teams. Saban 12-4 against the Tigers at Alabama. Of course, won the championship here in 03. We were here in 08 when Saban came back. Game day was here. His first visit back here as Alabama's coach. Was that intense?
Wow. Wild. Very balanced attack on their opening drive before the interception from Bryce.
Good balanced offense all year long for Bama. Off the play action. Wide, incomplete. Tried to get out there to Brooks.
I think it was a good job of bringing pressure there and getting a hand on the ball. That tip there at the line of scrimmage, the pressure, that would have been a completion.
Cordell Williams in the backfield. Loudest part of the stadium. The students are right over the right shoulder of Bryce. Young has time, delivers right down the middle into traffic, diving to Corey Brooks. Couldn't come up with it.
Really good job here by the safety, and I think it affected the accuracy of this football. He's looking to get the ball to the left there to the tight end. He's double covered, and then that bracket comes off and flashes right in front of the eye. See that you had 2 on Latu, and then he comes over and gets in the way of the throw that was intended on the crosser there. Looked like Burton coming across.
Deafening on 3rd and 10. Play clock at 3. Tigers drop back. Actually, there's a flag before the snap. You can crank up the speakers. You can practice against it. This is tough, though.
Everybody moved except the center didn't snap the ball.
Prior to the snap, timeout, LSU. First time out of the half.
And bails out Alabama there. So they spend the timeout on defense on 3rd and long. Just talking about the crowd noise, and nobody has speakers louder in practice than Saban does, but this is really, as in college football, this end of this stadium at night is as tough as it gets.
Oh, you're right, especially when they believe, and they're keep in mind what's at stake in this game. Alabama, of course, is everybody's focused on them after a loss at Knoxville. They're trying to get themselves back in position to get to Atlanta and potentially win the SEC in the playoff. Little old LSU that lost to Florida State in the opener, they've righted the ship, and they still control their own destiny. They win tonight, boy, they are in a great position to get to an SEC championship. So a lot at stake for both these teams, and this home field, they understand that.
Amazing to think that LSU could be in the driver's seat of the division with a win tonight. They could even afford a loss in the conference game and get to Atlanta. They'd have the tiebreak.
That's right.
This time they show pressure on 3rd and long. But back out. Young steps up, has some grass, has a long way to go, and will be stopped just short of the marker. Good effort there, but Greg Brooks combining with Baskerville and B.J. Ojolari.
Yeah, they are 6 different defensive backs on the field, but they're dropping. Watch 18 right here. He's dropping, but he also has eyes on Bryce Young because of this. Good job of leveraging, keeping him short, about a yard short of that first down marker. So good job sinking in zone, eyes on the threat of the athletic ability, and that time they kept him just short of the first down.
You drop as deep as he does, you got to run a long way to get to the marker. It was a heck of an effort. LSU may try to come after a punt. Their punt returns have been an adventure this year, not in a good way. Gregory Clayton catches it bounce, and that's what they want to do. They prefer a fair catch, but they don't want a muff. They've had plenty of those this year.
Oh, yeah. And Chris, you and I over the years, I think everybody's watched some of the notable dual threat quarterbacks that have given this defense of Nick Saban's a threat. Tim Tebow, Cam Newton. Think about Nick Marshall, of course, Deshaun, Bo Nix, Hendon Hooker this year. I think back to Hugh Freeze had a few himself with Bo Wallace and Chad Kelly, and you can see what Jaden Daniels is capable of doing, with his ability to create not just the design QB run, it's when he starts to improvise that I think has the attention of the Bama defense tonight. Can he throw the ball well enough against the attack that he's facing and the coverage that he's facing tonight is the big question.
Really let it rip, Kirk. He's cautious by nature. Only one pick this year, but Kelly says that's not necessarily a good thing. He wants them to be riskier, calculated risk, but let it rip. There's a low throw here, caught by Malik Neighbors. It's a first down. McKinstry gave him a cushion.
And I think what you're saying is early in the year especially, I think he's learning a new scheme. He's learning new receivers, a 2-year starter at Arizona State. Right here, he would have been late on this ball. This time he gets the ball out, has one hitch, ball gets out, and it gives Neighbors a chance to work himself back and still be beyond the sticks for that first down.
Short route so far, 6 completions for just 24 yards. Keeps it on the edge, and they did a great job. That's textbook. They strung it out, forced him back, and stopped him for a yard gain.
Yeah, it sure is. And watch in the background, you get motion here, and Branch goes with him. But I want you to keep your eyes on Branch, who I think is becoming the guy in this back end of this defense. So he's got to worry about the receiver, Booty, going motion, but eyes on the quarterback the entire time to allow him to come off of the receiver, peel back, and make a play right near the line of scrimmage.
You know, those players have heard the narrative you talked about. Running quarterbacks always give you guys problems.
Oh, yeah. They're tired of hearing about it.
And 2nd and 9. Ball lofted downfield over the head of Neighbors. Interesting matchups on the edge tonight.
Oh yeah. And with, again, that pressure you're going to face, it's an easy thing for the protection. Ball is out fast. He goes up in the air. A rare opportunity where you don't have a safety behind the corner to help out. So he took the one-on-one shot there on 2nd down and 10. It's hit or miss, and now you're facing a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, all the 3rd downs have been 3rd and uncomfortable for this Tigers offense so far. Daniels escapes pressure. Anderson chasing him down, and it's incomplete to Brian Thomas. Was he across the line when he threw it? Looked like he was.
Yeah, he was looked like about a full yard.
Well, Nick might have got bumped into the headset. Needs some work on the sidelines.
But how about just keeping that play alive? I mean, Bill, you're looking for any body part at all to be behind the line, right?
He has to be 100% across the line
right,
at
yeah.
the release point.
Pass from behind the neutral zone. Beyond the neutral zone. Number 5 on the offense. 5-yard penalty for responding to foul.
Is his right foot?
Down.
I've got him still behind the line. Replay's buzzing right now. They're going to reverse this call.
Careful, coach. It was incomplete anyway, so it's fourth down.
And Coach Saban right there.
McKinstry went into him, and Nick didn't show some quick, so the headset didn't fare as well as the coach.
No, but he's got his game face on. He bounced up, ready to go. Glad he's okay.
He's got to be pleased, by the way, that his defensive backs have played so far tonight. That's the area, of course, where he spends his focus, practice.
You and I had them the next game after the Tennessee debacle for that secondary, and boy, did they look a lot better when they played against Mississippi State. Of course, they're reviewing whether or not he was across the line of scrimmage. Bill feels like he had maybe that right foot still behind the line, but that secondary really performed, I think, to their standard the last time out. They had the bye week to get healthy, lock in on this scheme. You give Nick Saban 2 weeks to get ready, and Pete Golding, usually it's going to be a tough night for any offense.
It's just a matter of where the ball is going to be placed for the punt. The pass was incomplete, so it's fourth down. Let's see what Ken Williamson has to say.
After further review, the ball was released from behind the neutral zone. Therefore, there is no foul for legal forward pass. The result of the play is an incomplete pass. It's fourth down.
Thank you for the explanation. Ken?
What a scene right there.
What a scene all day around here.
Man, that's the thing, outside of the stadium.
Yeah.
For like 6
You ever
hours.
tailgated outside here?
Have I?
After we did game day,
No,
I had no further responsibilities. I was out with the people, T-shirt, baseball hat.
Boy, it looks
Do it
fun.
sometime before.
Don't worry. At some point, I will officially retire, and I will just travel around the country and enjoy tailgating. It looks like a lot of fun.
I can vouch for that. Here's the punt. Oh, he gets up in the jet stream. That's a good one. McKinstry won't even field it. Just takes a sideways bounce out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Talked about these guys being friendly Pop Warner rivals. Then they trained together. Taylor Kelly is a quarterback guru. This was in May this year.
Yeah, and these quarterbacks, it's incredible, the rotational throwing, the amount of strength that is created, the torque from the ground up, where they get their hips and the core into these throws. You watch on Sunday, you watch on Saturdays, more and more specializing with this position, and it's a lot of fun to watch how quickly these guys can get the ball out of their hands.
Field position game early. That 55-yard punt by Bramlett sets Bama backed up at the 10 here. Again, in the loudest part of the stadium.
Comes a blitz.
Perkins hits Young after the throw. Heavy pressure by the true freshman. They've got Bryce out of rhythm here, unsettled.
Yeah, and you know, I think Gibbs missed that, and you could see him coming on the hard count, and you could see that. Watch the running back miss his pressure. He showed it initially. Now Gibbs has got to get out of there quicker. He's got to be able to recognize that pre-snap, the threat, to be able to take care of his quarterback off that right edge.
Perkins, a Texan with a huge future, making a big contribution here in his first year of college football. Young has protection this time, goes down the sidelines, and that's Ja'Cory Brooks going up and making the catch.
Out of bounds.
Ruled him out, though.
Yeah, he caught that football, but he could not get his right leg or right foot down in time. Gutsy throw, backed up near his end zone, gets the ball out early. Good effort there to get it in, and Brooks makes a great catch. He holds on to it, but again, you can see in the replay, just not able to come down in bounds.
Young started 3 for 3, then threw the pick, and the last 4 have been incomplete.
Last third down and long, they showed pressure, got out of it, and kept eyes on the quarterback after the scramble. Oh, movement up front. You said it, loudest part of the stadium.
Loudest part of the planet. I mean,
That's great. Oh, that's a
Holly, can you hear us down there? How are your eardrums doing?
Well, guys, this is one of the loudest places we've been all year. 108 decibels on that last play. Keep in mind, Bryce Young played here 2 years ago, but it was during COVID, only 20,000 people. It's so loud, you can feel it in your bones right now, guys. This is the student section, very oppressive right now.
That's well put. The sound does vibrate through you. Snap it at 3 from the end zone. Young dodges pressure, just bounces the throw. B.J. Ojulari got after the quarterback. This is a fired up defense right now.
What really good job by Perkins, who comes off the right edge. The defense is left. This is the true freshman. He forces him to have to get out, and then you'll see LSU bring around the defensive end, see him twist around, but it's 40 that ends up getting him out of there. And then Ojulari is able to apply that pressure. Got a little bit high and got away with it.
James Burnett, the Aussie, from deep in his end zone. Gets it away, but it's ugly. Low or high and short. It's going to get a favorable bounce. Clayton couldn't get up there and make the catch. And for the second time tonight, the failure to make a fair catch has cost them precious yards. So Matt Berry for an update.
Guys, good evening. Want to keep you updated on Clemson and Notre Dame. This was after Clemson's first possession. Prince Colley, we've got a blocked punt and a touchdown. Irish up early on the Tigers, 7-0 at home.
You know, the last time those teams collided in South Bend, it was a classic overtime win for the Fighting Irish. Clemson obviously with no margin for error as they chase a playoff spot.
How about this first quarter? Typical LSU Alabama game of field position, right? These special teams and hitting yards could be big.
Neighbors has blockers on the end around. The Tide closed it down pretty quickly. Looked like it was going to result in more than a 6-yard game at first.
I'm with you. I think if he were a little more patient or would allow that convoy to just kind of set up the blocks, I think he could at the very least gotten a first down. I noticed they're changing up some of the play calling with Mike Denbrock here. Instead of just running the ball, comes in with an idea that, hey, they're going to attack us on early downs. We got to either throw the ball, play action, reverse, something to break the tendencies of running on early downs.
Money Goodwin is the back. And he get to the left, and he does get the edge, makes a cut, and Goodwin, as a flag comes out late in the run, tackled at the Tide 42.
It's going to be a holding call.
It will be the second of the night here. A spot foul.
Holding. Offense, number 10. 10-yard penalty for spot of foul.
That's Jeray Jenkins, the receiver on the edge.
He's up against Kool-Aid McKinstry. Got his arms around him and just held on to him, wouldn't let go. And McKinstry, of course, does a good job of letting him know. They bring it back.
They spotted the ball back at the 40.
Yeah.
That penalty was beyond 10 yards from that, where it took place. That's interesting. So, no score after 1 in Baton Rouge. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime. Welcome back. ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway. This presentation of the SEC on ESPN. Bayou Bengals, 2 touchdown underdogs, but feeding off the energy of this crowd. It's been a field position first quarter. Tigers begin the second from their 40 with a 2nd and 8.
Physical first quarter. Very physical.
Penalties have played a key role already. Bama had those 17 penalties against Tennessee. Cleaned it up drastically. Only 3 at home against Mississippi State last time out. 3 already tonight. Noah Cain is the back. And Daniels gets it out. And keep an eye on this tight end. Mason Taylor, son of NFL legend Jason Taylor, is a force already as a freshman.
Yeah, he sure is. It's a little confusion here. Watch the corner bail, and it opens up for the flat route by 86. McKinstry gets deep. The linebacker gets deep. Somebody not quite on the same page, because you got to either have him in man or you got to have a flat defender out there. Nobody's out there, and an easy throw and first down.
Good DNA, but man, is that dude
man.
fluid. Ball skills. He's become a better blocker as a tight end, too. That slant was tipped at the line.
Brian Branch again, man. If you're an Alabama fan, you know all about what he means to this defense. Really becoming the glue. Like I've said in the past, there's always that defensive back for Nick Saban and Pete Golding's defense over the years. Go back to even when Kirby was there. He can play nickel, he can play safety, play what they call money, where they get him up like a linebacker, but he can cover people. Great leader back there.
And running right into the arms. The tackler was Cain. That was Jalen Moody swallowing it up.
He committed down. Really thought you could see the potential of Daniels pulling it out. Watch to your right. 42 will flash. Both edges set by that Alabama defense. That was a predetermined handoff, or he would have pulled that and gone around the edge there with Moody collapsing down. Now it's another third down and long, and they're 1 for 4 so far tonight.
Haven't seen Kayshon Boutte targeted yet tonight, Kirk. He's been surging. 16 catches the last 3 games. Haven't looked his way yet. Daniels in the pocket, pinballing around, and Will Anderson and company knock him down. Turner was there as well, toe-to-toe also.
Well, that's a good job of just squeezing the pocket, kind of coming in from the outside, not letting him go anywhere, not letting him escape. Just keep him inside. If you're number 5 there, you've got to have an internal clock. You know that eventually, even with good pass protection, Will Anderson or Dallas Turner are going to get to you. You got to get out of that pocket, and you got to try to get something or throw the ball away.
Both quarterbacks feeling the pressure tonight. Second sack by the Tide, and they have pressured Daniels on almost every dropback when he's held the ball for any length of time. Bramlett again going to do his job, and for the 3rd time tonight, Bama's going to begin a drive around their 10-yard line. Shaq, the Diesel, back in town. He had a DJ show last night. Kirk, I wish you were here. I would have loved him at the club over here.
Yeah.
Honey Badgers here. This great LSU team. How about Big Andrew Whitworth?
He's been great.
Honor tonight.
Yep. Enjoy working with him on Thursday nights. What a cerebral guy. Loves talking ball and bright future in the media.
Big man.
Oh my God.
Big human.
Sweet guy. Just kind-hearted guy.
How cool to see him going out on top. Gibbs runs through a tackle. Sutter Sepp flag out as he skips out of bounds at the 15. A couple of them in that offensive pit area.
Yeah, looks like they threw that right at Seth McLaughlin, the center, who was trying to get around to try to help out to get Gibbs to the corner.
Holding offense number 56. That's the difference in the goal. 3 first down.
Often a very experienced guy. He's played in a lot of big games in Alabama. Kind of a center rotation. They're not really settled on one guy.
No, but all I know is they move back even further, closer to that goal line. It seems like these last, as you said, the last 3 series, Bryce Young's either in his end zone or close to it.
Young sets up in the paint again, delivers a throw to Gibbs, who bobbled it and held it. It is complete for a very short gain.
Good job of holding on. He's such a reliable receiver as a running back, and good job by Bill O'Brien saying, hey, let's get the ball out in a hurry. The only reason he bobbled that, he secures it. His eyes got up, looked to see where the defender was, and it almost cost him.
Tied 0 for 2 on 3rd so far. Need 12 on the 2nd down play to avoid another 3rd and long. On the slant again. He's just inaccurate so far. He feels rushed all of a sudden.
Well, he's just not on the same page with his receivers. That time it was Isaiah Bond who was running a glance route, but there's coverage there. Baskerville ends up getting out here, and I think threatens the potential of that being a completion. It's LSU defense. Matt House, defensive coordinator. I think this defense has gotten better and better and better, understanding the scheme and the timing of where to be. Instead of memorizing, they understand the why, and it's really paid off. Another 3rd down and long. Everybody walking up. Who's coming? Who's dropping?
They only rush 3. Young scrambles from the goal line, delivers out of bounds, incomplete. That was Riddell Williams out of the backfield. Harold Perkins again brought the heat to the quarterback.
Yeah, we keep telling you about Perkins. He's had an incredible true freshman year. This time, instead of blitzing, he's just going to spy. If he moves, I'm going to mirror him. I'm going to move with him, and then I'm going to hit him. He's got a different gear than everybody else in that front 7, and that quickness got on to Bryce Young in a hurry.
Back to back to back, 3 and outs for the tie. This start could not be any different for the LSU defense and what they're used to seeing around here. Clayton this time does make the fair catch. They get down 13-zip to Mississippi State, 17-zip to Auburn, 17-3 to Ole Miss. Totally different vibe here tonight for LSU. What you got for the Modelo fighting spirit moment?
Early in this game, it's been a lot about Brian Branch's versatility and what he does in the back end of this defense. He's in coverage, awareness there, covering a receiver in motion, but comes back to make the play in space. 3rd down and 11. Why not bring him? Just thumps the back Josh Williams. And then also, he just kind of times up his blitz there. Can't get to him, so he gets his hands up. Just like I've said, always that great safety that can do a lot of different things. Minkah Fitzpatrick, Xavier McKinney, and now we're seeing him become Brian Branch.
Tigers begin in plus territory. Emery muscles forward, still driving those legs. As a young guy, he had a 54-yard touchdown run against the Crimson Tide a couple of years ago. When he's back healthy, he is a boost to this offense.
Yeah, in a 0-0 game that's a field position game, this is huge. It's not just him. It's the entire offensive line. Leg drive, but watch as he gets caught up. Look at the lineman. That's a true freshman, 50, just pushing people. That's an attitude run and effort from LSU. They didn't pick up the 1st down, but you love to see everybody get involved there.
Second and 1. Daniels gets it to the edge. That's the tight end Taylor in space. You can see the acceleration. Zooms inside the 25.
Just a great call here. 2nd 1. He's kind of hides himself. You pull it, everybody thinks in the middle, quarterback run. Nope. Get it out to the freshman where he can do damage. Great effort of blocking there by Brian Thomas to be able to pick up a few more yards.
Tigers trying to finally cash in on this field position. They own the territorial edge so far. Haven't made it count yet. From the 25, Daniels under immediate pressure off the edge and cannot escape. Will Anderson gets home. 3rd sack for Bama.
Will Campbell, this time he gets a feel of Will Anderson. Will Anderson's been lining up on the other side. Oh my gosh.
Kirk.
There's nothing you can prepare yourself for. Even in practice, you're not seeing that.
You're seeing Friday night guys a year ago and a Sunday afternoon dude tonight.
Right, exactly. He played high school football last year, probably really good program, but now he's up against Will Anderson, and they moved again. The defense is left, now he's on the right.
Credit to anybody who plays in this league as a freshman tackle. Emery makes a cut. Did he say in bounds? Twists and scores! LSU draws first blood. This is close here. Did he stay in bounds with his high step move? Looks like he did.
Yeah, it looks like he's in bounds. Here's a great look at it. Right there, he's in bounds. What an effort there.
Planted hard and then spins.
Back on DeMarco Helms.
He is a difference maker, a 30-yard play, and LSU does cash in on the great field position. 4 plays, take it half the field in less than 2 minutes.
Chris, look at the blitz here. Alabama rolls the dice by bringing a pressure here and a pressure here. The problem is nobody picks up John Emery out of the backfield. Man-to-man everywhere else. Now you got to make a play in the open field. DeMarco Hellam's unable to do it. What a cut there by Emery.
Tiger Stadium unhinged, and another smile from Daniels. A lot of those lately.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway, is brought to you by DirecTV. Get your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before. That means all the entertainment you love in one place. Get your TV together with DirecTV.
Joe Burrow went to Tuscaloosa. They put 46 on the tie for the championship team. John Emery, 30-yard swing pass is a story. He was an ultra highly touted guy, right, in 19. Sat out the entire 21 season.
Yep.
600 days between football games.
Unreal.
So game 3 this year.
Unbelievable, and he's such a talented guy. You know, I know Nick Saban there is well aware of him. I'm sure he recruited him, but he was fired up after his Alabama team went over to the sideline talking to Chris Braswell. Showed you the blitz there. Braswell came, Toto came, and nobody was left to pick up a talented running back like Emery. And when that defense came to the sideline, boy, he went after Chris Braswell. So a mix-up by the Alabama defense.
A little breathing room finally for the Bama offense. They take over at the 25. Gibbs harassed immediately. Ojulari was there, and they get him at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this defense is coming alive. There's 10 and 41 both blitz, right? And again, we said nobody's left to pick him up, so you got to avoid. This is a big part of what Brian Kelly wanted to do, try to create some confusion. And Alabama right now, Nick Saban, frustrated.
Daniels has been so cool all year against the blitz. Really an effective quarterback. Rice checks it down. Brooks hit hard and knocked down behind the line by Bernard Converse, who had the pick in the end zone earlier.
Well, they are doing a really good job. Watch the secondary. Usually you see open receivers. Nobody open downfield. Trying to get pressure and stay in zone and keep eyes on Bryce Young, mixing up their looks. Matt House doing a really good job of changing things up and making Bryce Young play out of rhythm, which we're just not used to seeing.
Yet another 3rd and long. Pressure. They picked up and across the middle. That's McClellan in a lot of space. It's a foot race. And they finally drag him down at the 10-yard line. That time, LSU's aggressive approach backfires.
Well, you play man-to-man. Major Burns has got a lock up here in the backfield with McClellan. He stumbles right there and loses his footing. That creates the separation. And with everybody else in the man-to-man, it becomes a foot race. And I'll tell you what, Burns is lucky he was able to catch up to him.
Burns, the Georgia transfer, showed some good catch-up speed to prevent the touchdown, but the Tide are knocking on the door. That's McClellan again to the 5.
You get him to 3rd and 10. There's pressure, and crowd's going crazy. You're up 7-0, and a slight stumble by Burns just loses his footing in man-to-man coverage. And of course, Bryce Young recognizes that with everybody else covered downfield, and a short throw changes things in a blink of an eye.
Biggest hazard in that play. McClellan had to avoid the official as it came close to bumping into him. Gibbs in the ball game. 2nd and 4. Nothing in the middle. Wall of the Tigers have been a very stout defense in the red zone all year.
Now watch 11 knife in there. Went his gap. Also saw 18 Ojulari. 11 is able to be in there a lot.
It's hard to run it or throw it against this team in close. Young from the pocket. Flushed. And he's going to be trapped behind the line. Harold Perkins, another impact play from the young guy.
Matt House is using him at times to pressure, and because of his speed, at other times on third down, they're using him in the middle here to be able to keep his eye on Bryce Young. The potential threat of Bryce Young. I mean, look at him. He is locked in on Bryce Young moving. He takes off. Not only does he mirror him, he closes ground not to give him time to eventually find those receivers.
Another guy who was playing high school football at the same time Bryce Young's winning the Heisman Trophy, and he makes a play in open field. Will Riker from 29 got his mojo back the last game. 3 for 3 and knocks the chip shot through, but LSU gets a red zone stop and still leads it by 4. Tomorrow morning, Sunday NFL Countdown. Chris Berman interviewing MVP, current favorite, I'd say, Josh Allen. And on Monday night, about 75 miles south of here in New Orleans, Alvin Kamara and the Saints against Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
Ravens in first place.
I'm a huge Ravens fan. Rashad Bateman is out. Big news there for the Ravens. They did sign Deshaun Jackson, which could help them on the outside, but the way they're playing defense and the way Lamar Jackson is playing, obviously they're going to be in every game they play.
Noah Kane from the 1. And returns it to the 23. Well, Saban and Kelly have hooked up a couple of times. Of course, Brian was at Notre Dame. They're both playoff games. The championship mugging in Miami that you were a part of.
I unfortunately called that one. It was over early.
The semifinal.
Early.
A year ago. They were closer, but Kelly wanted one more swing at a national championship, and he believes that LSU gives him a better chance. And he was not shy about saying that he wants to beat Saban. Who doesn't want to? But you come to the deepest end of the pool in college football down here in the SEC West. You got to go through Bama. You're going to get to Atlanta, much less win a championship.
You also can potentially manage and build a different roster in Baton Rouge compared to what he's had in the past going up against him.
And there's the first catch from Kayshon Boutte. And he's out across the 40. He can be an electric playmaker.
Yeah, again, they're bringing pressure on 1st and 10. 2-2 this time blitzes, but a good job at picking that pressure up. Give him time. We've not seen him get the ball thrown downfield. Quick release and a good throw. A good heck of a matchup there with Boutte up against Brian Branch. But the ball does go down beyond 10 yards in the air. First one of the night.
Emery makes the cut. Boutte, a guy who had such tremendous hype, then lost about half of last year to an ankle injury. Struggled in the opener. And Boutte became a father about a month ago, and since then has just kind of relaxed and settled. He's not pouting anymore. He's sort of very involved and been surging.
Yeah, I think he was pretty emotional early in the year. He had a new coach. He had a lot of things going on in his life. It seems like he, as you say, has settled in, and it's really paid off for him these last 3 or 4 games.
He waited until late second quarter to look for him the first time. Now he's got his second catch, but they are all over him. Jalen Moody has been active tonight.
Sure has. He just does a good job of being able to make a play in space. Dallas Turner actually turned that ball in, leveraged the football. Anytime you see LSU go empty, you know the ball is either going to come out fast or a quarterback draw. Get it out there fast to an athlete, have some blockers in front, but look at the Alabama defense in space, run to the football.
Tigers 1 of 5 on third. Pressure again. Daniels flips it short, but knocked down immediately as Josh Williams by DeMarco Helms, and the Tide get a stop. Here comes the punt team.
And that's Alabama defense there. Third down. Brian Kelly knows that's the challenging part of dealing with the pressure. He had time, but a really good job of being able to come off of the pressure of the blitz. You've seen Toto a lot of times coming free on blitzes, but that time he and DeMarco Helms right where they needed to be to get LSU off the field.
See if Bramlett can pin the Tide back one more time. Special teams have not been a strength for LSU this season. Bramlett's been one of the few bright spots. That's not his best kick. There's a flag down as the ball is going to roll down about the 28. Check the marker here. So Bama, 151 total yards. The running game has been held in check very well tonight by LSU.
Carrying the kick, holding, receiving team number 19. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
It's going to cost some field position and penalties. Again, a story for Bama. That's the 5th of the night. Young, 3:21 to work with. Memorial Tower, the LSU campus. Home team up by 4.
I'm Matt Barry. Coming up with the Mercedes-Benz halftime report. What a statement Georgia made today at home against Tennessee. We'll have highlights. Plus, Clemson is in a fight on the road against Notre Dame, and it took a little longer than people expected, but Ohio State finally pulled away from Northwestern. Dan Mullen, Joey Galloway join me coming up at the half.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the Buckeyes had to battle in Evanston. TCU had to come from behind to stay perfect. Now it's Clemson in a battle on the road, and Alabama down 7-3 here. Gibbs celebrates for a 6-yard gain. Fouché on the stop.
You know, Alabama had, you see their drive chart, the interception, the 3 punts, and then they get the big play with a throw out of the backfield to McClellan and man-to-man coverage, and they get a field goal. But don't write this offense off. They have potential to score and potential to get into field position, as you saw in their last drive, in a hurry.
5 of their 6 drives, Kirk, beginning from their 21 and in.
Exactly.
Young across the middle. Again, pressure enough to affect the throw. He bounces it way short.
But they're doing a really good job of just winning some one-on-one blocks and being able to sit back in zone. B.J. Ojolari that time just pushing that pocket. Remember, Bryce Young is undersized. They list him at 6 feet. I don't know how tall he really is, but when the inside pressure gets in, coming right at him in his face, it's hard to find lanes for him to be able to be effective and throw the ball.
It's a great point. And that was their philosophy. That was their intent, to kind of squeeze the pocket from the inside. On 3rd down, Young across the middle, throws low, catch made, just enough for the first down is Roydell Williams.
Just to give you an example, not just on this drive, but tonight, I mean, this is what you're dealing with. It's a pretty good angle to be able to see with the pressure in his face, how hard it is for him to be able to navigate. And really, it's a lot of it. What he's doing is he feels and he tracks his receiver, and without seeing him, he tries to throw to a spot and hope that he matches it up.
Protection is good this time, and the ball is zipped to Kobe Prentice, a true freshman who's made an impact here. 29th catch on the season.
And these receivers, you know, when you look at Prentice as a freshman, Isaiah Bond, Burton, who transferred over from Georgia, Ja'Cory Brooks, they're coming along, but they don't have what they've had in the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years out on the perimeter.
That's why Young's numbers are down in part, and also this has been a much better running team than they had last year, but not so far tonight. Empty backfield pressure again. The throw is behind JoJo Earl, and it's incomplete. Fouché knocked it loose.
Fouché sure did. Got his hands on it. That's a great play. Known as a guy who likes to play in the box, but watch him get his left hand on the ball, right on the football to knock it out of there. Fouché, like a number of players on the back end, a lot of transfers with this LSU team. They needed to find bodies. They especially needed them in the secondary. Fouché coming over from Arkansas.
One of 5 defensive back transfers in this LSU team. 5 of their top 7 DBs are transfers. Didn't even know each other's name at the beginning of camp. Pressure again. It's picked up this time, and Gibbs catches the ball near top speed and goes for a first down to the 46.
You got man-to-man. Watch Gibbs here, and then comes underneath, and watch the coverage on the back end. You see a DB starting to go out here, and then he has to come back underneath. So well-designed play, gets the secondary out of position, designed that time to get the ball to Gibbs on 3rd down.
Gibbs is in the slot to the left. Young is looking that direction, and across the middle, catch made by Brooks, and now the rhythm is suddenly back for this Bama offense. There is a flag down.
Good patience there. Gay almost got to him. Waits to the last minute to deliver that ball to Brooks.
Penalty's going to be on LSU.
It's going to be on Major Burns, who tackled a receiver away from the ball.
On the defense, number 28. That penalty will be declined. Result of the play and the first down.
And they gain more yards on the play, so they'll take it. And now the Tide, who've twice been to LSU's 5-yard line tonight, come away with a total of 3 points, a chance to take the lead before halftime.
There it is to the top of your screen. Doesn't impact the play, but it gives you an idea. Burns, who's worked his way back to be able to play, one of the leaders on the back end, struggling so far in coverage.
Tigers back out. Young has time to scan and flips it to Latu, and he's going to be spun down, lost the ball. It comes out. LSU says they've got it, and they do. The second turnover tonight for the Tide.
Wow. Sage Ryan just somehow holds on to the bigger tight end, doesn't give up on the play, and rips the ball away from Latu. I mean, this is a big gain for Alabama. Deep in LSU territory, as I said, he didn't give up on that play, and before that ball can get out of bounds, LSU jumps on top of it.
Greg Brooks makes the recovery. One of those transfers from Arkansas. Ryan is a freshman. The young guys have made some huge impact plays for this Tigers defense tonight.
And another missed opportunity for Alabama in plus territory.
This play's under review, gentlemen, because when he lost the ball,
Moving on the field was a fumble and recovery by the defense.
when he lost the ball, he was out of bounds and he reached in and touched it before there was possession. So that means you got to fumble out of bounds. So they're going to keep the football.
Really? Okay. Coach us up here, Bill. I don't understand that.
Let's see where Brooks was when he recovered it.
Ball's out, right? Defender's there.
The defender did not have possession, and when he reached back in, he touched the football, and he was out of bounds. So that's a dead ball.
Just so I understand, how does the defender not have possession? Is it being bobbled? It looks like he has it.
He's just starting to grab it, but he doesn't have what we define as possession.
That's cool. I'm just kidding. So by Latu having just his hand on the ball, he's considered out of bounds.
Because his body was out of bounds.
But does he have possession of the ball?
No, but he was an out of bounds player who touched the ball.
Okay, so instantly it's done.
Yes, sir.
Wow. You're up here just coaching us up here.
But did he touch it before Brooks got possession of it? This is an interesting review. You never see this kind of a thing, Bill.
It's a tight, tough one. But I would say he doesn't have possession. He's just starting to put two hands on it. But he doesn't own the football yet.
What an enormous review this would be.
You guys get yelled at all the time down there. You got to make a call like that? How in the heck do you make that call?
X-ray vision, I guess.
I mean, that's impossible. If it goes the way you're saying, Brian Kelly's going to...
Well, this crowd's not going to understand what Bill's explaining. I can promise you that.
I'm glad Bill's explaining it. I get that his feet are... I get that he's out of bounds.
Control there before the ball. I mean, he kind of tries to knock the ball out of Brooks' hands.
Bill, ball's out.
Yeah, but I think he the ball.
Does he touch it, Bill?
I think it's before that.
Okay.
What Bill's talking about is before that.
Okay.
Yeah, before that. That's what I've got.
So right.
Here you go, Bill.
Here you go. Back it up. Spin it forward.
Here you go, Billy. Here we go. Ready? Boom. Right there, you're saying.
But does Brooks have two hands on the ball when it's touched?
I don't disagree with you about two hands on the ball. I'm saying he hasn't finished possession to say he can do something common to the game.
Wow.
This is one of those intricate ones that you don't see plays like this, and this is enormous because Alabama's going to be set up in position to potentially take the lead before halftime here if this call is reversed.
Have all three timeouts if, in fact, as you say, it is reversed. Ball's going to be right around the 25-yard line. Bill, I can't wait to have you explain this on social media, what's going on here. It's going to be fun post-game.
Come on the video with us. You can describe this. Get Bill on the nightcap recap, the digest. Here we go.
You're going to get
Williamson.
After further review, the fumble was loose on the ground and touched by a player who was out of bounds. That made it a forward fumble out of bounds, giving the ball back to the fumbling team. It'll be Alabama ball. First and 10, 36-yard line.
Chapter and verse. Bill was right. Brian Kelly wants his own private explanation. The crowd drowned him out. Once they knew it was going to be overturned, and that long explanation that Ken gave was lost on them.
I'm just really impressed. I thought LSU, another opportunity. They're able to get their offense back out there with 120. Bill instantly sees it, says, wait a second, they're going to have to review it.
I think it's really close, to be honest.
Really close. But it's the call, so Alabama, 3 timeouts, minute 20 to go. Ball right around the 26-yard line.
Kelly still wants an explanation.
I think
crowd is stunned. They can't figure out exactly why their defense is back on the field. He's not going to get a reversal of the reversal. Something you just don't see often.
He's being patient. He's listening. He's being.
You think
he's being calm? I think it's. Okay. Now he's doing the lead. No, he's doing the lead.
Well, he's saying what I said.
Yeah.
The guy had 2 hands on the ball,
and I think but he never had possession of it. Well, it was touched first. The way I was just coached over here to my right by Bill, he just coached me up.
Now we'll see if this reversal of fortune, the Tide can take advantage of it. Time not an issue. They got all 3 timeouts. Gibbs to the far right. Plenty of time on the clock.
The LSU coach is trying to get their attention.
Long throw again. Just miscommunication as the receiver and the quarterback on different pages.
Yeah, again, I'm just not used to seeing Bryce Young and his receivers just not so what happens for fans, it's a lot of times the route is called, but if you get a certain coverage, you run this route. If you get a different coverage, you run another route. And so the quarterback and his receiver have to be on the same page. Well, Bryce Young clearly saw soft coverage, I'll get the ball out, and the receiver didn't read the same thing, so it's a miscommunication.
Gibbs, a running back who is a very talented receiver. The misfire makes it 2nd and 10. Young from the pocket, pressured again, tried to find Gibbs again, and it's 3rd and 10.
Boy, watch
Wingo there.
Yeah, watch Wingo off the edge here. He's normally plays in the inside. He's an undersized, big 3 technique, but look at the power. Again, sometimes it's not about the sack. It's about affecting the quarterback, which is exactly what Wingo does there.
Play clock at 4. 3-man rush. Ball out. Catch made. Stopped short of the marker. So he looked for Gibbs 3 plays in a row. Finally connects, and it's 4th down and 2. Jay Ward stopped him.
Good job of reacting to that. Again, you saw Harold Perkins, defensive end, outside linebacker, spying, but the ball is thrown. Playing that zone, they're able to rally to the ball. Nick Saban has an interesting decision here. And let this clock work down and use his timeout.
He's letting the clock work all the way down. You would think he's going for 3 here.
Yeah, sure does. Obviously, he would not be working that clock.
A little surprised.
Yeah, me too. But the way this first half, the way the first half is going, we have a long way to go in this game. He wants to get points. So his offense has not just been going up and down the field and not been dominating and haven't been really effective when they have been down in the red zone. They're 0 for 2 down in the red zone tonight.
You're talking about an LSU defense that has played its finest first half of the season. They come on strong late in games, but they have been ripped apart quite often in the first half. They came out with a great plan, as you pointed out, and they have made it tough on Young.
In fact, Brian Kelly was saying that on our Zoom with you, myself, and Holly about just how we just got to hang in there. Boy, do we really believe we can find a way to win in the second half. This is just a thought when you watch Bryce Young in his first half. Remember, because of that shoulder, he physically doesn't get the same amount of reps that he normally gets. Mental reps. but you wonder if it's affecting his timing and rhythm with these receivers the last few games.
With the bye week, they felt he had a chance to try to regain some of that, and LSU will spend a timeout here. 36-yard attempt from Reichard coming up.
You know, Holly, I know, is all over the amount of reps and the bye week. Holly, you talked with the coaches about how much they actually got him out there on the practice field getting reps.
That's right. They wanted to take advantage of the bye week to really let that AC joint heal and the shoulder soreness that he was experiencing. So they gave him the entire bye week off, but he was continuing to do that 24/7 rehab. Then this week, he did practice every day this week, but they limited it to 25 throws a day. Not a lot of time to get the timing down with his players. Just looks a little off right now.
Yeah.
We're not used to seeing this from Bryce Young.
Yeah, and for fans, I mean, normally, I don't know how many reps you get, maybe triple, maybe 4 times the amount. So you pull that back. Of course, he's sharp mentally, but the mechanics of the execution of the offense is affected. Another timeout.
And let's give due credit to the guys in white, purple, and gold tonight, because this defense has been inspired. And Matt House knows his guys have been making mental mistakes so often early in games, putting themselves in tough positions from the start tonight.
Yeah,
they were dialed in.
Yeah, Matt House is a coach that was with the Kansas City Chiefs over the last 3 years as a linebacker coach, and decided to come back to college. Of course, he was at UK with Mark Stoops as a defensive coach. Went up to the NFL, missed a college game, loved the challenge of coming back, wanted to work with Brian Kelly, and wanted to be back in that college environment, and he's really taken a defense that didn't know each other at all with a new scheme, gotten them to a point where they're playing the way they are in November.
The 4th defensive coordinator these veteran players have had.
Unreal. In 4 years.
Yeah.
In 4 years.
So we'll see if Brian wants to extend the half any further. He's out of timeout, so he can't. And Reichard, to make it a 1-point game at the break from 36, knocks it right through.
Bama does get the ball to start the second half after winning the toss and deferring.
Well, they have threatened 3 times tonight. Young threw a pick in the end zone. LSU got a stop, and then that field goal. And Brian Kelly and the Bayou Bengals, they said they would arrive tonight full of belief, and they have played like it. Alabama trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Down by 1. Let's go to Hollywood. Nick Saban.
Coach, what is this defense doing that's preventing your offense to get into a rhythm and on track?
You know, they're doing a lot of zone blitzing, bringing a guy off the edge, dropping another guy, getting in the windows of some of the RPOs and that type of thing. We got to be able to run the ball better so we don't get in these long yardage situations, putting too much pressure on the quarterback.
What do you see with the connection with Bryce? Is it just pressure, or how else can he be effective?
No, he's been effective. We dropped a couple balls. We're not getting away from people. They're dropping 8 guys, doing a good job of mixing it up. So, you know, we got to give him some better options.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
So the Tigers by 1 over the Tide at the break. Time now for the Mercedes-Benz halftime report. Matt Berry, Joseph Galloway, and Coach Dan Mullen.
Yeah, all of them. Dave Fowler got some coaching up last week from Joseph Scott Galloway as we welcome you into the Mercedes-Benz halftime report. Joey doesn't like when his name's not dropped. That's the lesson here.
Mercedes-Benz.
What in the world is going on at Piscataway? Rutgers and Michigan here.
Welcome back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
Death Valley full of life, set for the second half. ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway. It's a presentation of the SEC on ESPN. Control of the SEC West at stake. Alabama's playoff hopes already with a loss this season at stake. They'll get the football first. But this Tigers defense harassing Bryce Young in the first half. And the Tigers took advantage of field position. Touchdown drive of 49 yards. Diver kickoff to the end zone. Kirk, how have they done it? Get after Young.
Well, they've mixed it up. You know, Matt House done a really good job. Defensive coordinator, a lot of different looks. He's been under a lot of pressure. What's been strange is, if you're just tuning in, even when he hasn't been under pressure, they have not been in sync. You know, with Bryce, a little bit off balance, a little unsure. Give credit to Matt House, mixing it up, and give credit to this defensive line applying pressure, because Bryce Young very often He's been under a lot of pressure from a lot of different styles of blitzes and rushing 3 and dropping 8. You see the numbers right there.
Pressured almost half of his dropbacks, the pick and a sack, and just 2 completions under pressure tonight. But it's a new half. Gibbs can change the game with any carry and accelerates around the edge and scoots out near the 40.
Well, great patience and vision, and Greg Penn, the middle linebacker, doesn't hold contain here. Watch him kind of get lost and underappreciate the ability to go bounce that right there. He starts to squeeze, and he's got to try to protect the edge there and set that edge to avoid that.
Gibbs comes in averaging 7 yards a carry. Hasn't been a big part of the offense yet tonight, and that time they grab him and throw him down near the line of scrimmage. Micah Baskerville.
Baskerville does a better job there with his pursuit, coming in a little wider, appreciating that Gibbs can bounce it. Gibbs' instincts, he's just trying to run Degrassi. He wants to get to the right. He wants to bounce that to the outside, but the leader of this defense, Micah Baskerville, really in great position.
Big shoes to fill. Damone Clark.
That's our guy last year.
Yeah.
We loved him. We actually called this game last year and really saw him assert himself and got the Tigers to believe that night they had a shot in Tuscaloosa. Came close.
Young, deep drop and just fires it into the ground. Again in hot pursuit, Baskerville and Greg Penn.
Well, they just crossed the 2 linebackers, move the inside people out, bring those 2 linebackers, and it works. They're trying to set up a screen to the left, but with that action, it took a long time to develop, and those 2 blitzing linebackers didn't allow the timing of that to be an effective screen at all.
Big 3rd down. This felt like an important drive. Tide getting points just before halftime. Could they perhaps grab the lead in the road and calm this crowd down? Well, LSU a chance to get off the field immediately here.
There's Perkins spying again. Oh, this time he moves out.
3-man rush, and they still get him under pressure. McClellan's knocked down hard right at the marker by Mekhi Garner. It'll be a 1st down, though.
Remember the last time we called their game against Mississippi State? I said that Young reminds me of a Steph Curry.
Yep.
This is what I'm talking about. Just you're about to give up on the play, and at the last second, he sees Gibbs and checks it down to him. Kind of like he's on the break there. Like on a
I like it. He loved that comparison.
But that's series. Previous plays under review.
That's exactly what he can do on these 3rd downs to keep him alive. He was hit right there.
So they did spot him on the 1st down. I think he's short by about a half a yard.
Looks like he gets the ball. Looks like it gets to about the 48 and a half. Definitely does not get to the 49.
Be 4th down if this call is cleaned up.
It's a great look at it right down the line there.
All right, let's say that our eyes are not deceiving us, and the replay official David Allman agrees. What is Saban thinking at 4th and half a yard at midfield?
I think he knows it's probably going to come back about a half a yard.
Does he gamble here? Does he trust that running game and trust Gibbs to get a half a yard? If not, Tigers will be set up at midfield.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he. After further review, the runner is ruled down at the Alabama 48.5-yard line.
Yeah, there we go.
That's short of the line to gain. Therefore, it's 4th down.
Here we go.
Decision time.
In modern college football, this would be an easy decision. It is you see so many teams go for it on 4th down all over the place.
He's talking to Bill O'Brien, talking to the offensive staff. Everybody getting on the same page. He sends Bryce Young back out. Let's go.
A chance for LSU to stone the Tide offense and really claim some momentum. To the huddle quickly. Williams is the back. Bobbled snap. Young almost dropped the snap, but he got the handoff and they get the 1st down.
They bring in Williams for the strength and the short yardage. Really strong lower half. Give him a chance. Kind of a sugar huddle, fast huddle. And they submerge underneath. Came very close to keeping him short, but that leg drive got it for him.
You should say Steph Curry, fast hands. That was almost a fumble and a turnover on downs.
You get the handoff off, too.
Look at this.
Yeah, look at it. Look at these quick hands. He looks away from it somehow. Boy, not only did he secure it, but he just happened to be in position to just hand it off where he was able to secure the ball. If that ball happened to bounce back towards him, he probably wouldn't have been able to get that handoff off, and he would have had to follow Williams into that hole.
That would have been tricky. Two-back look now. McClellan and Gibbs flanking the quarterback. Now Gibbs goes in motion. McClellan, stutter step, fights to the 45, picks up about 3. It'll be 3rd and 5.
You know, I know it's not been a great night throwing the football, but at some point, you know what's been missing in this offense is those vertical shots. Jamison Williams last year always provided this offense with that spark or that big playability. And when you can't stretch a defense, they start crowding in on your short intermediate passing game, your running game. There's Bill O'Brien with a hat on backwards and the glasses. Eventually, they're going to have to try to stretch and get the ball downfield.
Young, 1 completion when it's thrown downfield tonight, 1 for 5. In the pocket, delivers a high throw, and then the catch is made by Burton, who again is right near the marker, but just short. Jay Ward stopped him. Another 4th down coming up.
Boy, how about that spin move and it brought his momentum back away from the defender and towards the 1st down marker. He looked like he might be initial contact, maybe 2 yards, 3 yards short.
Burton, quiet performances on the field the last couple of games.
Another 4th down.
2 tight ends. They need about the same amount they needed last time. Williams again in the backfield.
He's trying to get everybody in line, everybody on the same page, moving Randolph around.
Gotta hurry. Just got the timeout. They were maneuvering players into position, and Young lost track of the clock. T5G Skycam zooming over this crowd of more than 102,000. Trying to roar as the Tiger defense tries to get off the field here. Alabama going forward on 4th down again.
Yeah, miscommunication before they needed to use that timeout before the play clock went off up front with the offensive line. You saw Eric Wolford coming over to when the team came over to the sideline. He went after Kendall Randolph to make sure everybody's on the same page. They go quick huddle again.
Williams again stumbles, lunges, just makes it for a 2nd time, and the drive continues.
Well, he got across, but you're right. He ends up losing his footing, but a great push on the right side. Ekifor just enough there to keep his body from hitting the ground.
Exactly. His knee came close to touching, but for the 2nd time, Williams is converted on the 4th down, and he's got it for about 2 on 1st down here.
At this point in the game, LSU has forgotten about the threat downfield. They are loading up on these quick passes.
Can Young make it pay here?
You keep kind of waiting for it. Who can be that guy? Who can be the guy to stretch the field? You know it's coming. It's just a matter of when it's going to come.
Going to be Ja'Cory Brooks, freshman Prentice. They've both shown the ability to make plays downfield as receivers. Gibbs motions out. Young looks back to his right and delivers. And that's Brooks. Couldn't quite escape. He's going to be tackled. Actually, there's no whistle yet. Did he stay up there? He spotted inside the 20.
Boy, it's amazing what Gibbs can do to a defense by getting him on just a motion, moving him away. The linebackers both end up clearing out, and it opens up finally a nice big passing window for Bryce Young.
The 20-yard play.
On the field was that the runner was down at the 18-yard line. The previous play is under review.
Chris, just this right here. Watch the reaction by the 2 linebackers. He moves, they move, their eyes and attention are all out there. Now look at that. Look at that beautiful hole there. We've not seen a lot of that.
Right there, it looked like his right leg hit the ground. They ruled him up, but they're checking it out right now.
Yeah, Greg
the right leg as he spins around. Yeah, knee.
Yeah, the right knee definitely down. Yep.
I mean,
pretty obvious here. Actually hit pretty hard.
Puzzling why they missed it live, but I'm sure replay can fix that.
But that play, is what you're used to. When Alabama's rolling, that's what you're used to seeing, those kind of windows.
Down at the 24-yard line. They'll still be on the line to gain. For first down, Alabama.
The Tide have not been sharp, and the LSU defense has been effective at harassing Young down here in the red zone. Threatening again. Again, the pick came when Bama was at the 5-yard line. Then they had to settle for a chip shot field goal the second time they got down to the 5.
Kind of had my eye on that TV during this last timeout where the Alabama offense was over there. Bryce Young talking with Eric Wolford, the offensive line coach, just about protections and how he's setting the line. He actually tapped himself on the chest, said, that's my fault, coach. So great communication there during that timeout with Alabama.
Yeah. Young swarmed and sacked. There was early pressure. Joe Fouché got him down, but it was a swarm again by the Tigers.
Yeah, they're going to bring the pressure right here and then eventually just use speed and quickness with Fouché, who comes off that edge. Great speed. How about he just goes right by the big right tackle, J.C. Latham. He has a size advantage, but Fouché has the quickness and, again, gets to the inside and gets the pressure.
They're looking at Tyler Steen, who is down on the field. They appear to be looking at that ankle. We'll step aside. Good we could check out SEC Insight on Tuesday night on the SEC Network. All access pass to the Dogs' big win in Athens, and this one here tonight. Footage you haven't seen before, sound from the players and the coaches. SEC Network Tuesday night and the ESPN app. 2nd and 14. Off the timeout, or the injury timeout. Steen helped off, and Amari Knight takes his place, left tackle. Ball quickly to the edge. Brooks spins away, bites through Garner, and gets down to the 20.
Another nice job by Bryce Young. Keep in mind, he's got to get the ball out there in a hurry because you have offensive linemen out there. This ball is high and to his right. He's able to get up and not only catch it, but now you got to get the ball with a quick throw. Continues to show great hands.
Yet another 3rd down, Tied 3 for 10 tonight. Young from the pocket, overthrown. Trying to climb the ladder was Latu, defended by Garner. It's 4th and 6, and here comes the field goal team.
Again, when you can get a push in the middle, this time it's Roy right here. Watch him push. The best way to affect Bryce Young's accuracy, and it's not off the edges, it's pushing right into his face, where he has a hard time seeing downfield. With this injury to his shoulder, I know he had the bye week, he had a chance to get healthy, but the timing is off, and I think the lack of reps at practice is affecting his rhythm and accuracy with these receivers and tight ends.
Riker, the 4th-year place kicker, slumped a bit by his standards earlier, but he's in a groove now. 3 for 3 tonight. That one from 38. And the Tide take the lead for the first time tonight. Chipping away. Still no touchdowns in the red zone. Couple of field goals and a turnover. Saban's crew on top of the first time.
It's one of those games. You go back to the end of the first half, and you thought, okay, are they going to go for it? Are they going to go for it? They're going to try to get a touchdown. He let the clock work down and called the timeout, set up the field goal, and then they get the ball to start the second half. They eventually are able to get more points on the board here at 9-7.
What are you seeing down there, Holly?
Well, you know, I was able to talk to Brian Kelly of LSU, and he reminded me that this is a very good second half LSU team. Remember, he told us yesterday in our meeting, if it's close at the half, I like our chances. We've been good in the second half. But what he reminded his team at halftime was one play at a time. He said, I thought the first half we had focus and discipline on executing one play at a time. I don't want this to get too big and get away from us. I just want us to focus in the second half.
Yeah, you got to play 60 minutes to beat Bama typically. LSU, how will they respond being behind for the first time? Bama with field goals in each of their last 3 possessions. And that kick won't bounce into the end zone. Next, Saturday night, Austin, Texas, one of our favorite stops. TCU come from behind victory at home against Texas Tech to stay undefeated, and Texas is taking care of business tonight so far in Manhattan, Kansas. Bijan Robinson, a big night so far. 2-touchdown lead.
31-17, 7-minute mark and a third. See if they're able to win.
So they're up ABC, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific.
Be good.
TCU off to their best start since that 2010 season, that magical year. 30+ in all 9 games for the Frogs. Daniels delivers a strike right at the marker, and Kayshon Boudie's begun to get involved tonight, and that's a good thing for this offense.
Boudie comes back to the football. Branch in pretty good coverage out there in space. Boudie gets to his route, but watch how he comes back to the football. If he doesn't do that, that ball's knocked away by Brian Branch, who had tight coverage there.
Which receiver can make a big play today? Who can get free? Who can get some yards after the catch? Daniels dancing around, showing the improv skills and the fast speed and the acceleration. And he'll slide safely down in Tide territory. His first big impact run of the night.
But Will Anderson and company, watched him chase. They start to go into pursuit. The problem with Jaden Daniels is he can work his way back the other way. You've got to be respectful of that on the backside. If you start to just kind of think, okay, ball's going to our right, let's take off. With his acceleration and vision and ability to cut back, he can make big plays like that one for the first.
These guys whip. Byron Young not able to grab him by the ankles that time. Williams plows forward. What a response from this LSU ground game, Holly, as they try to reclaim momentum here.
Well, you see Jaden Daniels really dancing, eluding, being slippery on that last run. And he told us the first football he played that was organized as a kid was flag football. He said, I really believe I get some of that escapability because of my flag football background. And you saw it on that last run. Nobody was getting his towel. It was his flag. He has such good wiggle, guys. It's so fun to watch.
He said soccer was his first sport. I said, I bet you scored a lot of goals. He said, yeah, I just ran away from everybody.
Keep in mind, man, he's 6'3" with that wiggle. That's crazy with that kind of length.
Flushed again, eluding pressure. He'll scoot out of bounds in front of To'o. That was a smart move. Anderson pressured him yet again.
Yeah, the true freshman. We talked about it earlier. Emory Jones, he's a true freshman going up against the best player in the country. Will Anderson, a little outside move and then back in, and then you chase him down. There's the athletic ability. I mean, think about that. Without that ability, that's a sack. Now it's 3rd and 2. Watching these true freshmen. If you just tuned in, Emory Jones will be on the right side, 50. Will Campbell on the left. 2 true freshmen who are playing high school football, now going up against Alabama on a Saturday night.
Tide have had 3 sacks and a lot of pressures. Anderson's had 5 pressures on his own. Williams busts into the secondary. First down and a lot more to the 21 before Helms got him down.
Turner, the center. Good block here to turn it this way, and then your left guard also makes a nice block. Frazier, move and get up to the linebacker, and now you've got a chance with the former walk-on Josh Williams getting into the second level of that defense with acceleration.
Williams again, and the Tide couldn't get him to the ground. They had him trapped in the backfield, but he escaped. Anderson was there in a hurry.
Somehow Will Anderson, who doesn't get talked about enough, with 31 to your right, doesn't get talked about enough with his ability to be able to get through these gaps, get into the backfield, and defend the run. But how about the effort by Williams just to keep that play alive, right?
Opponents say Will Anderson's a good pass rusher. We're going to run right at him. I said, well, good luck.
Good luck with that.
Strong hands.
Strong, heavy hands. Now you got him outside.
Daniels delivers a sideline throw. It's incomplete. Tight coverage on Thomas by Eli Ricks, former Bayou Bengal. Waves his finger and says, not on my watch.
They challenged him all week to not be emotional tonight. Pete Golding, also Nick Saban said, Eli, I know you're going back. You're playing against your former team, your former buddies, but we need you locked into what we're doing. He won the starting job a couple weeks ago, and for the most part, that's where he's been, that state of mind. Love to see that.
Resentment against him by the fans here. Didn't like the fact that he transferred to Alabama, but made a good decision. Play clock's winding down, so no urgency. LSU will have to spend a timeout here. This important drive in the red zone, trying to reclaim the lead. Student section made a difference tonight, making noise down in that left end zone. Taco Bell Live Más student section contest. Competition continues all year. These folks inspired the first night game in this rivalry since 2006 here. And now Daniels Kirk tries to convert on 3rd and 7.
Alabama's been pressuring on these third downs. You're going to want to keep an eye on, even if he doesn't throw, the ability to scramble down in the red zone.
So look to his right. Now tries to buy some time. Delivers over the middle, and the catch is made for a 1st and goal by Booty. He beat Ricks that time. That was his former teammate.
Yeah. Out here to the right, 3rd down, very patient, just kind of feeling it. Wait, he's actually improvising here, reacting to his quarterback, trying to get separation. He was trying to pull the defender away on the initial play to try to draw him away to open up another receiver downfield, and then once the quarterback, Jaden Daniels, started to react, he instinctively ran away from Ricks.
1st and goal. Booty again. Spins and is shoved out at the 2 by Brian Branch.
Boy, if he puts that ball just a little bit more out in front, allows him to be able to run without having to come back to it, he might have had a chance to get to the corner. Good heads-up play by Branch to catch up to him, and it goes up and over. Hopefully everybody's okay down there. But a good job by Branch to get him out of bounds. But if that ball's thrown out in front, it's probably a touchdown.
Spotted at the 3, 2 tight ends in for the Tigers. Williams is the back. They fake it to him. Daniels lofts it out of bounds. Well covered there was Brian Thomas. Kool-Aid McKinstry not fooled on the play fake.
Yeah, McKinstry does not bite on this at all. You see him right here. He's kind of looking like, what are we doing here? And then he sees the release by Thomas and he stays with him. Not only that, he gets his head turned. So he's in position, head turned back to look at the quarterback just in case they were trying to get him to bait him to make the throw. So he's outstanding job. All Daniels could do there is throw it away.
What is Mike Denbrock going to cook up here? A crucial play, 3rd and goal. Got to hurry here. Already spent 1 timeout. They do get the snap off. And wait a second. No,
they did not. Got movement.
Play clock was winding down. And somebody jumped.
On the offense, not all 11 players were set for full second. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
And now he's got to come up with a different play. The ball will be spotted back at the 8.
Boy, when you're in a game like this and you don't get a ton of opportunities inside the 5-yard line, you're in a 2-point low-scoring game. Now you got a 5-yard penalty to set you back. See if Jaden Daniels can make a play with his arm or his legs.
You see Kelly say, "Let's go." I think he wants the call in. He wants the.
They're down to 10 seconds.
Urgency here. Yeah. Daniels against pressure, delivers to the end zone. No contact. A flag did come out. Trying to work his way back to the football was Malik Neighbors. Ricks was in coverage, and there's a flag. Couldn't tell if it was a slip or he got shoved.
He pushed him into the ground. He was on him tight.
Pass interference. Defense number 7.
He's grabbing under the jersey, and then there. He's got very physical coverage there. Good call.
There was some slippage there, but enough coverage by Ricks, and the ball's at the 2, 1st and goal.
And LSU catches a break. Daniels is throwing a fade to the corner. Neighbors is working the back shoulder fade back, and they end up getting interference.
Power set. Look at everybody bunched together. Williams, that humanity, muscles for a touchdown. Tigers back on top. Shaq loves it. The Tigers respond in the best possible way. Bama takes their first lead, 11 plays, 75 yards. You don't think this group believed? It's a remarkable story unfolding here in Baton Rouge in Brian Kelly's first year. Tennessee came in here and blasted them, and they flunked badly their first test of the season against an elite team in this place. Got behind early at Florida, recovered to win that one. Came back strong against Ole Miss, won it going away, and look at taking the lead over Bama here.
And they're going to make sure that he took the lead, because just to make sure he crossed that goal line as he was fighting for every effort that he had to get in, to break the plane. Seeing if his backside touched or not.
Not down yet. Ball across.
Yeah, just to be sure. What do you see? Remember, we've talked about these two true freshman tackles. They ran right behind Emory Jones.
Williams, one of the 15 Tigers who has the championship ring from 19. He was a scout teamer that year. Came here as a walk-on and has earned his spot as one of the top backs in this rotation. Emory scored earlier on a swing pass. Now Williams muscles across, and LSU's up by 5.
You get penetration here right away by Tim Smith, who's right here. He's able to shoot a gap, and here's the young right tackle. Watch how he takes care of that potential threat. Pushes it to the inside. The next thing, you have two tight ends with a double team, but look who comes free to make a play. Henry Toto right there against a former walk-on running back that would not be denied. He takes on that big hit right there. They got a potential play out of the end zone, but nope, 27 in a tight game. Shows great determination to get that ball in.
You wanted it a lot. Toto is the top tackler. He's a guy you'd want in that position.
That's it.
For
That's what you want. Yep.
So Bryce Young comes out, answers the bell. They kick a field goal. They get stopped in there, and LSU just responds, and the joint is jumping again.
I mean, are you kidding me here?
It's fun.
You and I, it's just like shoot it into your veins, right?
It's possible to have a close game, partner.
Just Saturday night in Death Valley in the SEC. Sign me up.
Before the Tide take over, a quick word from Verbo.
It's Tim Tebow in a Verbo, where you get the whole place to yourself. So it's always just you and your Gators.
So 41.5 minutes of play so far, and Bryce Young and Bama have not yet found the end zone.
But they're having a little fun down there. These are the drives. These are the moments that we bragged about Bryce Young. The composure, the poise in this atmosphere. See how he does.
His left tackle, Tyler Steen, is back in the game. And Gibbs is hit and falls forward for a yard. Perkins again making a play.
Oh, man, chasing that from the backside. By the way, another high snap again. Bryce Young showing his athletic ability over and over, being able to handle some of these snaps. Look at Perkins chasing that thing down. I mean, get used to hearing Harold Perkins' name when you watch LSU football. Number 40, true freshman, will be all over the field over the next couple of years, not to mention the rest of this year.
Young steps up and delivers another errant throw. Tried to get it to Latu, but the pocket just squeezed him that time again.
Yeah, Wingo actually gets in there, beats his man, and again, I keep talking about it. It's not always the sack. It's just affecting the quarterback, whether it's his vision or his footwork, and eventually you can affect the timing and the accuracy downfield.
They need 8 to keep the football here. Young chased again. Flag out. Another throw bounced. Perkins one more time on the pressure. This looks like it's going to be a hold on Bama.
He's going to be saying Harold Perkins in his dreams after tonight, maybe his nightmares. He is relentless.
Holding on the offense, number 65. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Again, Perkins is a linebacker that can rush as an edge guy. 40 in near side. Watch him get to the inside of J.C. Latham. And look at his right hand. You got to hold him to keep him away from Bryce Young. And then he gets up off of the ground to try to chase him down again.
Wow. So the speed you talked about, the power,
and then they push him
the relentless
down.
effort.
And then he's got a motor to go with it.
And whistle before the punt by Burnett.
False start. Offense number 19. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
It's just amazing to think that in an environment like this, against athletes, that a guy who was playing high school football a year ago at that position, that linebacker position, can affect the game and the Heisman Trophy winner as much as Perkins has done tonight.
And he's done it from the opening drive to this pass drive that Bryce Young was out on the field, and he's been everywhere.
And he's had a great season. This is his first big game, but to do it in this environment.
And Matt House has done such a good job of utilizing him in so many different areas.
This back makes the fair catch at the 35-yard line, and now a flag after the play. This is going to be some kind of a personal foul, I think.
I think that's going to be on LSU.
Was it during the punt or post-possession?
It was after the fair catch.
If that's the case, then LSU will keep possession. It'll just cost them 15.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team number 17. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
And Xavier Carter, Kelly's not buying it at all.
He did it. You can see it. Just a poor decision by Xavier Carter.
We talked about the emotion of these games. It's not unusual. You know, players will get caught up in that and make a bad choice. It wasn't that big a bump when we're watching it here.
No, you go ahead and roll it, and you'll see this right here. Near the fair catch has already been made, and
he kind of lowered his shoulder a little bit.
That's enough to me. Yeah.
So that moves the football back to the 20. Emery's back in the game. And now you got a pre-snap foul on LSU.
And the tight end looked like he might be leaning a little bit.
Offense number 86. 5-yard penalty. Makes 1st down.
Good to have our sports injury analyst Marty Jaramillo join us, as he always does. And the focus all week for Marty was on John Emery. You can explain why that bye week and getting that Achilles healed up has made a difference. We saw him score, Marty, early on the swing pass. He made a pretty dramatic cut in that play. So after this play, take us through his rehab.
Yes, sir.
Behind the sticks on 1st down. And they hand it off, and there is Emery. Gets free, makes another one of those cuts, and the Achilles, Marty, looks okay tonight.
It does. You know, that Achilles is thin but very strong, very elastic. But any inflammation can tighten up that area so much where you lose that power with push-off, with running, and especially acceleration. All his treatments have been focused on that inflammation and that tightness. You know what? And also some specialized taping techniques. After that high stepping, I think we all said we like what we see.
And they're glad to have him back and healthy. He is a difference maker. Got 6 yards on that carry, and now Daniels on the move, flips it over, and then across the middle, catch is made by Booty, who wasn't targeted for about the first 20 minutes of the game, but now is heavily involved.
Design rollout, move that launch point away from the pressure. Bring the receiver from the outside back in. That defense is flowing, try to get to the field. They're trying to get to those threats out on the outside. And they brought Booty back to the inside there where he was all left alone.
Trots to the sideline to be looked at after his 6th catch tonight. Keeper took a look at Taylor, the tight end, and now he wants him to throw a block, and the young guy was still in receiver mode, didn't get up there.
Man, I'll tell you, if you think back to that Florida State LSU game, when they didn't know each other, the coaches didn't know the players didn't know the coaches. I think a lot of people looked at that game and thought, okay, forget about LSU this year. But there's Mike Dimbrock, the offensive coordinator. Right around the middle of the year, they started to learn more and more about Jaden Daniels, who he is. Jaden Daniels got more and more comfortable with the players around him, especially the receivers, became more decisive, and they started to find an identity, taking advantage of his ability to run and throw, and now they've become a dangerous offense.
You got a dangerous quarterback who's on the move, runs again, cannot escape the play that time. Remember, he drove him down the field in the opener against the Seminoles. It was the blocked extra point that led to the loss, but he was very nearly the hero of his first game here.
Yeah, it's been remarkable to see, and to the point where if you think back to that game, they lose that game and you get caught up in all the other big names and big games. They're forgotten about, and now they put themselves in a position. People are focused on Alabama with that 6 next to them. Don't sleep on the importance of this game for LSU and what's at stake for the Tigers tonight. If they can come up with a win and somehow close this game out, they still can get to Atlanta.
They have control of it. Control it, of course. Oh, it was behind Booty, who's made all the receptions for LSU in this quarter, but now it's 4th down, so a little off target there.
Just a little bit behind his receiver, but a ball that he would normally catch, and especially on 3rd down. He holds on to that. He's really close to getting a 1st down. Yeah, I mean, they win tonight. Not just Atlanta, but still keeping their dreams alive of daring to dare.
Not impossible. No. A 2-loss team has made the playoff, but if they were a 2-loss SEC champ with wins over Alabama and Georgia, they'd make a case, but long way to go here.
Oh, yeah.
Kinstry back to return this punt. Bramlett's been effective punting tonight. This one bounces and is going to take a sideways and check up at the 24. We talked about the SEC ways to snowy Atlanta here. Tide, Tigers, that's Ole Miss. Don't forget about them.
Yeah.
They climb the mountain. The yodeling, such a part of SEC football. You coming in at 4-1. Arkansas on the road. A&M on the road. Those are the remaining conference games for LSU. Their last home game is against UAB.
Alabama at the Grove at Oxford next week. A big one. Even if they get through tonight, another tough challenge with Lane Kiffin. Really their last big challenge.
Remember, the LSU has the tiebreak over Ole Miss and would have it over the Tide if they can hold on to this lead tonight. 1 second to go. We're in the 3rd quarter. And Young almost intercepted. Oh, he threw it behind Garner there, but had his hand on it. Burton was the receiver.
The ball just comes out. I thought it might have been tipped. Look at the spin and the lack of spin. And the ball's behind his receiver and almost the interception.
Final quarter at Tiger Stadium. LSU looking for a defining victory in the Brian Kelly era. Leads it by 5. Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. He won in LA on January 9th. Saban had more of those than anybody, but the playoff hopes on the line for Alabama here in the final quarter. 2nd and 10. Gibbs in space. Look out. He can fly. Fastest member of the Crimson Tide team scoots out of bounds at the 40. Boucher finally forced him out, but he's a game changer.
Watch this offensive line. Able to take on that slant, and then there's the instincts to cut back. Who else does Alabama turn to? They're on the ropes right now, on the road. The quarterback who usually comes through is not able to make plays yet, so you get the ball to Gibbs, your playmaker.
Bama finally at 100 rushing yards tonight. Gibbs has got it again. Much more dynamic running game than last year. Last year you talked about the downfield shots, Young's passing. Robinson was a solid back, but does not have Gibbs' ability to threaten the defense and take it to the house.
No, very different. And saw Harold Perkins go down here.
Freshman who's been the star for this LSU defense tonight. Quickly attended to.
Yeah, he came up limping there, and he just ended up going down to get the training staff out. Let's go back to look at this long run. Look at that offensive line. Nice job of being able to handle that slant angle. Actually, that's the play right after it. Still positive yards. Perkins is jogging off the field.
Jogging with a slight limp.
Yeah.
Good to see him on his feet. Gibbs.
What a
quietly with 81 yards after that 34-yard gain.
What a tough night so far for Bryce Young. It's not about the night. It's about finding a way to win the game. You could make a strong case that this has been his toughest start for him in his entire career.
There's good protection this time, and flips it short and shoved that amount at the 31. Gibbs, such a natural, fluid receiver. The last guy for this team to lead them in rushing and receptions was Bobby Humphrey. Remember the great Bobby Humphrey way back.
Bobby Humphrey, his son Marlon, of course, playing with the Ravens, one of the top corners in the game.
Gibbs, the first since Humphrey to do what he's doing tonight.
26, I want to say?
Yeah. And then again, not on the same page. Brooks and Young that time.
Yeah, more of the same. And if you show this route, you can see, and they're talking to each other right now to try to get on the same page. They're just not understanding. You got a corner that's up tight. Is it man? Is it zone? Bryce comes off of it. He's expecting him to come off of that. You can see Jacory looks back at him, and then they came together and talked about it.
Young, again, just nobody there, and he bounced it intentionally. 3rd and 10 coming up.
And again, it's easy to sit up here, but when you're having a rough night and you're not feeling the rhythm of the offense, your vision isn't what it normally is. Watch Latu break free right there. I mean, normally Bryce Young steps up and fires that, and that's a first down. You move the sticks. But he's just having one of those nights where he doesn't have his rhythm. He's not in sync, trying to figure out the coverage. Now, you could say, what's wrong with Bryce Young? I'd rather say, what's right with Matt House changing things up on him and confusing him, the defensive coordinator from LSU.
3rd and 10. Young trying to improvise, goes to the edge, and he'll be dropped. A flag down in the secondary. Mekhi Wingo made the sack way back at the 38. He ran right back out of field goal range.
Yeah, they might get holding in the back end by Bernard Converse. Once he went into scramble mode, you know, the defensive backs are trying to plaster. They're trying to stick with those receivers, which is tough to do when he's back there scrambling and buying time, and you got receivers that are trying to break free.
Emil Ekiyor signaled that it's on LSU, and that makes sense.
I think they're going to get him. He's trying to stay with Isaiah Bond. This would be a big break, obviously, for Bama.
Automatic first down would go with that hold. They were going to be dropped way out of field goal range after that sack.
On the play, both a live ball, holding on the defense, number 24, will be declined. Personal foul, face mask, also on the defense will be accepted. 15 yards, previous spot, automatic first down.
And so they had penalties downfield, but actually Bryce Young, it's when he's running for his life right before he goes down, is what they ended up going with on Ojulari.
Good call there. And instead of being sacked back out of field goal range, the Tide are set up for the first down in the red zone. Ball will be placed at the 16.
Yeah, we're going to remember that play if they score a touchdown. That would have been 4th down.
Yep. Gibbs makes a cut, barrels down to the 1. Baskerville forced him out, but the Tide are on the doorstep.
Chris, you love this where they seal the edge and they pull around. seal the edge with Latu, bring around the big offensive lineman.
Draw me up a pin and pull
Pin
down
and
there.
pull there. You love that. Get down there.
Progressive Pylon Cam shows he got knocked out actually at the 2. First and goal. They haven't been efficient down here yet tonight. But a chance to claim the lead, and Williams, their power back, is in the left of Young. He's got the football, and he just plows in. Tied. Finally end zone for the first time and take the lead.
Great push in the inside. Seth McLaughlin, the center, who's been challenged tonight. Left guard Cohen. They blitz those backers, but they are picked up. Good hard running, and they punch it in. They've been in that red zone area 3 times. That's the 4th time. That's the first time they've been able to get a touchdown.
0 for 2 here. They extend the lead to 3. Right, the ball at the left hash.
Right away, they put Gibbs up to the top. See if he motions back in. He is.
Young flips it incomplete. Looking for a flag was Ja'Cory Brooks in the end zone. There isn't one, but the face mask flag loomed large. Tide go 76-8. 1-point lead for Saban's crew. What a scene tonight. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Subway. This presentation of the SEC on ESPN. Dr. Pepper Championship Drive game of the week. The Tide have reclaimed the lead. Jahmyr Gibbs on that drive ran it for 54 yards. Caught a 7-yard pass, which resulted in a first down. And then Roydell Williams powered it in. Bama finally finding the end zone here early in the final quarter. Kane from his end zone. Smacked hard and stopped at the 16. Matt Berry with an update of the very interesting development elsewhere tonight.
Yeah, Chris, you know, watching the college football playoff ranking show, a lot of people had a problem with where Clemson was ranked at 4th. Well, that took care of itself tonight. Benjamin Morrison, a pick 6 to go up 28-0. The last time a top 5 team got shut out by an unranked team, 1993, when Michigan beat a 5th-ranked Ohio State.
Yeah, Matty Berry, you had to bring that one up. Joey appreciated that. Joseph Scott Galloway was the one that was really up in arms about Clemson being ranked so high. That's why Matt gave him an assist there in the studio together.
They file that argument away. Daniels now wrestled down hard by Moody after picking up about 5 on first down. So now Daniels another opportunity to respond. So LSU offense has only put up 235 yards. Rush yards have been sort of hard to come by tonight. 1 electric run, that's it so far for Daniels. Passing has been really a challenge. Oh, short catch, hammered immediately is Kyron Lacey. Your guy Branch stood up there. There's a flag there.
But what a play by Brian Branch. They're going to give him the first down.
No flag, it's a first down.
Yeah, that was a clean hit, a great hit, and a good job of somehow holding on to the ball here. I mean, this is tough. You know you're going to get hit. Boom, Lacey. Good hands, physical receiver, and holds on to it.
Comes out of the game. That's a good start to this drive. Bama brings some pressure. They pick it up. And Daniels working the sidelines to Neighbors, who comes down with it. What a catch.
Great catch over his former teammate and somehow gets the foot down in bounds. There's not a lot of room. He's right on the boundary. How about the throw by Jaden Daniels? Up in the air, left foot down clearly. Bang, bang play, and a heck of a throw by the transfer from Arizona State.
All in midfield. Daniels escapes pressure briefly, and he'll fight back. Young got him down for a 2-yard sack.
Keep him in the pocket and squeeze back down. That's what Byron Young's able to do there.
5 sacks now for Bama, and a whole bunch of pressures in this quarterback.
Remember when Jaden Daniels was a true freshman out of Tempe? You and I called a game when he went up against Justin Herbert, the Oregon Ducks, and he was spinning it that night. And I think a lot of people realized, yeah, he's a great runner, but man, he can throw the ball when he has time.
There's a completion. We brought that game up. He was smiling. Herbert's gone on to do pretty well in football, but Daniels that night, the deep shot there, they held off Oregon and ruined their playoff chances.
Frank Darby downfield, and Brandon Ayuk on that team. He had some great receivers, but yeah, that was a shocker that night. Here he is a few years later, transfers into Baton Rouge, finds himself in a one-point game against Nick Saban and Alabama with a lot on the line for both teams.
3rd and 5, Bama crowding the line, and they get a flag on the play. Did they jump? It looked like a free play. Now there's another flag in the secondary here. That was a herky-jerky start to the play. Flags all over the place.
It's the kind of a modern version of a hard count here with a snap right there. You see movement right in the middle. It was Latham who jumped.
So Daniels feeling out a free play, threw it downfield. Then there was a flag near the intended receiver.
Yeah. Well, it was Ricks in coverage where that flag came out against Neighbors. Nick Saban saying, what are we doing here? That ball wasn't catchable. What are you doing?
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense, both live ball, offside, defense number 83. That penalty will be declined. Pass interference, defense number 7. That penalty will be accepted. 15 yards the previous spot, and an automatic first down.
Saban doesn't like it, but it's on Ricks.
Yeah, the pass interference. Was that ball catchable, Bill?
What they're saying is because he got knocked out of bounds, it probably took his path away, and he's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. Yeah, because I think the average fan looks at that and sees the ball pretty well thrown downfield. Why in the heck? But you're saying he prevented him from getting to his spot.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
8th Bama penalty, moves it to the 30. Emery's back in the game. Off the play action, Daniels steps up, and he'll be sacked for the 2nd time in this drive by Young. Another short loss.
Boy, it is man-to-man. If he doesn't make this play, watch everybody in the back end. Everybody's locked up in man-to-man coverage. I mean, look at this. Look at the space. If he's able to somehow get through that, he might run to the end zone. But a big-time play by the veteran 47 Young, squeezed down for the 2nd time in just a few plays to save a potential score for LSU.
Aaron Young is an interesting guy, very smart guy, big personality, and an excellent edge player.
Yes.
They pick it to Emery. Daniels runs sideways into a crease and accelerates and slides. And there's a flag at the end of it as Branch tried to hit him after he gave himself up. It's getting chippy.
It sure is. Well, he's got the quickness to get outside, and he's got the option to throw this ball. Watch this. Run, pass, run is the option here for him. And he got outside. Everybody's playing man-to-man, so he's able to slide, and then he gets the hit there by Branch where the flag came in.
Now, once he starts to give himself up, you're supposed to lay off of him.
The defender missed the quarterback as he slid.
Yep.
Daniels was so elusive, they didn't get the contact and didn't get the 15.
And I think that's a great job of picking that flag up, because he did go airborne to hit him, but he did a nice job of going over top and avoiding the contact. But how about that run, pass, run option there? Everybody thinks about run, pass option.
How do you defend that, by the way?
Yeah, with these quarterbacks that get on the edge, it's tough, really tough to deal with, especially if you're in man-to-man. Everybody has their back turned to him.
He just glides. His speed is somewhat deceptive because he's so smooth. Off the play fake, Booty catches it right at the line of scrimmage. He's not going to escape the clutches of Jordan Battle. What a sequence here, Kirk. LSU trying for the 2nd time in this half to answer Alabama points and reclaim the lead in position, but the field goal kicking has been anything but automatic for LSU. Damian Ramos has missed a couple of times inside 40. Daniels, a short dart. Good work by Neighbors. He made the high acrobatic catch a moment ago, fights hard and makes it a 3rd and short here.
Yeah, the other thing is Daniels, remember we talked early in the year, he was a little hesitant. As the year has gone on, he's been more decisive. There's another example. Get the ball to your hands in a hurry. If you see your man is open, get it to him and give him a chance to fight for some yards. And this drive started at their own 17, under 8 minutes to go.
Big 3rd down play. Williams in the game. Daniels running all the way, but the Tide swarm him. They string it out and drop him for a loss. Jordan Battle along with Jalen Moody, and now it's a 4th and longer.
Yeah, just a good job here. To's out here. He gets involved, but it's also these top 2 defenders. They know they have to set this edge. Battle is going to work his way out there. There's Toto, and then eventually Moody cleans it up.
So here is Ramos. He's a walk-on redshirt freshman from Baltimore. He's missed a couple of times this year inside 40. Kelly still has confidence in him from 32 to retake the lead in the final 7 minutes. No problem. Smooth technique. LSU on top again. 6:52 remaining.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Subway. Try the all-new Subway Series menu. Your pick of 12 irresistible subs.
69-yard drive, 11 plays, almost 6 minutes to reclaim the lead. Brian Kelly.
When we were away, he is upset with the officials. I mean, he's just warming up. I mean, he probably went for a good 2 minutes, Bill. Your reaction was what?
I think the composure by the officials is fantastic. They're giving coaches say, but they're in control of the game. They've been managing this game, and they've done an excellent job so far.
So Bryce Young will take over, trying to engineer another come-from-behind 4th quarter drive. It was able to do so on the road in Austin, Texas. There's the All-State bus. Curtis piloting to Baton Rouge. What's your All-State mayhem moment today?
Well, you got to look back at the Georgia-Tennessee game where early, this is the opening drive, Stetson Bennett sets the tone, fighting to get to the corner, and he does. He, of course, says, yeah, give me a call. I guess they got his phone number in Knoxville. They were calling him all night. He said, you can give me a call now. The defense was outstanding. Kirby Smart had him ready to play, and all the talk about Tennessee being #1, they ran into a buzzsaw in Athens. Congrats to the Dogs and Kirby and that team, reminding everybody, yeah, we're the defending champs, and yeah, we lost a lot of guys, and yep, we're still really good.
Dyburd's kickoff out of bounds sets the Tide up at the 35. Talked about that drive in Austin when Young was razor sharp. 5 of 7 at 20-yard scramble to set up the game-winning field goal. They do it again in an even more hostile environment. Gibbs takes the pass, scoots for 8. Holly?
Well, Bryce Young won the Heisman last year because he's typically calm in moments like this. You were just talking about it, Chris, and before they took the field right this minute, he had a huge smile on his face. Let's go, boys, clapping his hands. He lives for this moment. He's loving it down here.
Did it in the Iron Bowl, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He does live for these moments.
Yep.
Crowd will try to make it as tough as humanly possible. It's a 1st down run to the 45 by Gibbs.
Keep in mind, a big factor in this game tonight has been the play of the true freshman Harold Perkins, who went out of the game. He's now coming back into the game. And when Alabama scored, he was on the sideline. So let's keep an eye on his health, see how effective he can be. He's had a big night.
He had a whole pit crew working on him. They were working on the hamstring. He had the oxygen going. See if he can make a play here. Final 6 minutes. Bring a 4-man rush. Protection is good. Young finds Gibbs, who slides for a catch at the LSU 41. 1st down again.
He got lost in coverage there. Again, that's what Bryce Young can do with his feet. He kind of steered the receiver into that hole. Actually, Gibbs into that hole, and it looks like he does a good job of securing that for a catch.
Perkins comes out of the game. Gibbs is forced out for a loss on the near sideline.
I tell you, Gibbs for a running back, he has some incredibly instinctive moves when Bryce Young goes into that scramble mode of just trying to find that hole in the zone. He was way off to the right near the sideline. He saw Bryce start to scramble and immediately would do something you'd see from a receiver to kind of work back to the middle of the field.
Empty backfield. They show pressure and bring it. It's picked up. Young launching downfield. Diving attempt by Brooks. Just couldn't come up with it. Garner in coverage.
Garner loves that press coverage. Has good length. He's 6'2". Actually, Brooks gets by him. Had a chance. Unable to convert there. That's a good matchup there into the boundary.
Third and 10.
He's going to move Brooks over to hit left, give him a little communication. Got 3 receivers that way to the field.
Pressure again. Young escapes for now. Still alive. Flings it downfield. Has Brooks wide open. And the Tide take the lead. And that is patented Bryce Young magic. How did he get out of there?
Wow, Chris, that's why you're Bryce Young, even though you're not having a great night. Once he starts to scramble, watch this right here. The 2 defenders peek and get their eyes in the backfield. Now they've lost both the receivers. Everybody's watching in the backfield to try to figure out what Bryce Young's going to do. Keeps the play alive. How about that effort to somehow just navigate his way through? And man, Matt House must have told us 5 times this week, we've got to plaster when he scrambles. They've done it for the most part. That time they lost him.
First touchdown pass of the night. Again, they go for 2. Young fires across the middle. That's off the hands of Brooks. So they try to make it a 6-point game. But the magic of Bryce Young, the top improvising freeform player in the sport, he paid a price early with the pick in the end zone. That time, a piece of magic to Brooks. The lead is 4. 4:44 left.
Unreal.
How much fun is this? Alabama and LSU, the first Saturday in November. And we've had 5 lead changes in the second half. So this one back and forth developed into another classic in this great rivalry. And now it's LSU's turn to try to answer.
Well, you and I were talking at the break. It kind of reminds us going way back. That 2012 Alabama-LSU game. Zach Mettenberger makes a throw late, thinks, okay, LSU's going to win this game. Improbable. A.J. McCarron, T.J. Yeldon, same end zone. Takes it in for a touchdown, and Alabama escapes 21-17.
Identical score right now. 21 the hard way for Alabama.
That's right.
But Bryce Young, man, talked about how he just lives for this. The preternatural calm under pressure for this guy. Just despite the toughness of the night, executes. And now Daniels would try to respond, and he's doing his thing on the edge. And he just flips it out of bounds.
Had a little bit of momentum there. That ball sailed on him. Now, the last drive, remember, they started at their own 17-yard line and moved the ball, hit kind of a mix of some quarterback run, some good throws, hit a big play to Neighbors down that right sideline.
It's just amazing when you see this cutaways. Could he possibly be as calm as he appears to be?
I know.
2nd and 10. Making a cut, powering for about 4 yards there before Jalen Moody got Emery down. A reminder that the control of the SEC West is at stake for the winner of this game. LSU's already beaten Ole Miss. Bama's got Ole Miss coming up, and you can see that chance to reach Atlanta if they win here for Alabama.
Yeah,
pretty strong.
Yep.
For LSU as well.
Big third down here. Getting close to 4 minutes to go.
They're using a lot of clock. They had to spend a timeout earlier in the half, so just 2 remaining. Daniels escapes, and he'll make the first down and a lot more. Still running. Another cut. And they'll finally wrestle him down, but what Alabama feared, the quarterback escaping.
Well, watch the middle open up right here. There's nobody to spy, nobody on third down to account, and all in man-to-man coverage. So once he breaks free, he's got room. I talked about it earlier when you saw Young make the sack. If he were able to break free, he would have had similar ability to take off because of the man-to-man coverage.
Where was the spy in that play?
No spy. No spy.
Wow. Interesting call there. 31-yard gain. Remember, that was on third down to keep possession. Now Daniels looking to throw on first down to Booty on the edge. Incomplete, but a flag. Branch was in coverage. Dragged the receiver down. What a sudden change in the last 2 plays.
Incredible. And that is good against good. And often on these deep balls that are underthrown.
Pass interference. Defense number 14.
Slot fade, work back to an underthrown ball. Branch never sees the football. Booty's coming back to the ball, and that left arm prevents him from having a chance to get to the football. Branch has had a heck of a night, but not locating the ball there cost him on an underthrown football.
It looks intentional really to prevent the catch. Penalty not as damaging as the play would have been. The ball spotted inside the 25.
He knows he may have to potentially work his magic again.
Crowd gets so quiet when LSU's got the football here. Keeper again. Daniels hammered hard after a 3-yard gain.
Well, he kept his footing. He got his left hand down to stop him from going to the ground in the backfield. I think his feet just came out from underneath him. So instead of a 2-yard loss, it's a 3-yard gain. Every yard matters.
Of course, a field goal won't do it. There's not a lot of clock urgency.
No.
Kelly going really all in on this possession.
Well, he doesn't want to give Bryce Young any time.
That's fair.
To work.
Daniels scanning across the middle, incomplete. Tried to get it low to Brian Thomas. And it's 3rd and 7.
You know, he's working to the left in the pocket, and I really feel that instead of being able to get his feet set, that momentum going to the left ends up affecting the accuracy of the ball. Good job of waiting. He comes all the way back, and he's kind of falling to his left as he delivers it, and it ends up going behind Thomas, who had a step or two on the defender.
Now you got a 3rd and 7, Kirk. Depending on the outcome, what they can gain in this play, maybe a 4th down decision for Kelly. If they get stopped here, does he take the 3? They run it. Williams breaks free. No decision to be made yet. It's 1st and goal, LSU. What a clutch run right up the gut.
I mean, that's an incredible run by a former walk-on. Moody, 42, watch him. Right there, he's down. I think you and I are thinking, okay, but his low center of gravity, 5'9", 200 pounds, and a massive will to get what he needed to get for that first down. I mean, he's 6 yards short, 5 yards short of that marker where he is hit.
Williams has a breather. Emery's in the game on 1st and goal. Daniels lofts to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Mason Taylor, the freshman! There's Bedlam in Baton Rouge as Daniels answers the magic of his old Pop Warner friendly rival with some of his own. Wow.
And how about the true freshman, Mason Taylor, the son of Jason Taylor, making that play in the corner of the end zone to give the Tigers the lead. And the throw by Jaden Daniels.
His uncle, by the way, is Zach Thomas.
That's right.
Linebacker.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, you got man-to-man battle against Taylor on the inside. Got to beat him, give him a little stem, put that ball into that corner. Let the big man at 6'5" go up and get the ball and secure it with those strong hands.
Bryce Young, your turn next. You got a $147 to work with. Fourth lead chance here in the fourth quarter. First mission here, keep the kickoff in bounds. The touchback. Here's how Chris Blair made it sound on the radio to folks listening all around the state of Louisiana. That last touchdown.
In the shotgun, along with Emery. Here's the snap. Daniels looking left. Tosses it towards the end zone. Grabbing it. Mason Taylor. Back left corner. Touchdown, Mighty Tigers. Oh!
Imagine all this screaming around this place. Listen to that in the radio. A lot of screaming inside Tiger Stadium.
Here we go.
Died 75 from the end zone. Reichert's field goal range about 50 to 55. He's still got to move it about 50 yards in that position. And the catch made by Latu, and that's a good start to the drive out to the 40.
You keep Perkins as a spy. You take him away from coverage. Great call there by Bill O'Brien. Latu, easy completion to get this drive started. Watch the composure of Bryce Young and with that clock running.
Flushed and throws it away. Perkins was pressuring him again.
Of course. He was spying him. It looks like that's where he's going to be. What I love about when he spies is he closes ground and comes towards Bryce Young. Instead of just trying to prevent him from getting outside, he's going at him. Makes it really tough for Young to be able to take his time in finding a receiver.
Three-man rush. And a low throw caught by Brooks as he goes to the ground. It's going to be third and long.
Yeah, again, Matt House kind of mixing these looks up and playing some zone. That time he went man-to-man. Guys are on islands. Who can win those one-on-one battles?
Saving his timeouts. And third down, Young converts again. Catch made by Burton. Skips out of bounds at the LSU 43.
Got to get separation, and he does. From Mekhi Garner over here, who I just said, who's going to win the one-on-one battles? Able to get separation right at the top of the route in a well-timed throw, a little bit behind him, but because he got it out early, it gave Burton a chance to adjust and make the catch.
Final minute. Tigers are showing some pressure here pre-snap.
And he sees the same thing you're seeing, Chris. Make an adjustment. See if LSU drops out. They're coming.
Matsu couldn't reach that one. Love the pre-snap adjustments back and forth. Who can make that snap decision? Yeah, on either side.
I think he got the matchup that he wanted with Latu. Watch his feet. He just looks a little unsettled, uncomfortable. He's beaten. I mean, he has the tight end open. He just didn't really get his feet set the way he normally would to make an accurate throw.
Young, another long throw, diving attempt, catch made by JoJo Earl. His first of the night is a huge one at the 28.
The timing here is incredible. He makes this throw, the anticipation, and a night where he's not been in sync with his receivers before Earl came out of his break.
Right back to work. And this one's a throwaway. JoJo Earl, part of that receiving core. An interesting piece. They thought he might play a big role tonight. He hasn't until that moment.
Yeah, and you go back to that throw, the timing of that, what you couldn't see is when the ball came out. Yeah, he threw that well before JoJo Earl came out. And again, not perfect, but when it's early like that, the receiver can locate it, find it, and adjust.
Young, of course, thinking end zone, win it now. Don't settle for a overtime forcing field goal. Pressure again off his back foot, lofting to the end zone and incomplete. Brooks knocking about 3 cheerleaders down over there.
They've been showing zone pressure. They've not been playing straight up zero. I mean, they brought everybody, no safeties in the middle. Watch this safety gets occupied. I mean, that's zero. Bring one more than they can handle. Can you get to him before Brooks can win one-on-one against Bernard Converse?
Brings up a point here. Bear was talking about this. Had they just kicked the PAT in the last touchdown, they could potentially be setting up Reichard up for a game-winning field goal attempts. Need 10 to convert on this third down. Play clock running out of time here. At 1, they just get it off. Young steps up, delivers. Catch me! No, incomplete. Knocking the ball loose was Bernard Converse as Brooks tried to clutch it, and it's 4th and 10.
Wow, they tried to get him on a stutter and go, double move, and he didn't bite on it at all. I thought he had it initially, and then you see, locates the ball late. Bernard Converse doesn't give up on the play and helps get that ball with that left hand out of there.
Will Reichard, game winner against Texas on the road, missed wide right against Tennessee from 50 to potentially put the Tide in front from 46 to tie the game. And it just gets over the crossbar. They lost a game on a field goal by Tennessee that just cleared. And that one from Reichard, they didn't hit it that cleanly, but he got it enough.
That's clutch, man. That is clutch.
I mean, look at the backspin. That's not exactly how you want to strike it, and that is just enough.
Got over the crossbar. This is beautiful. Look right here. Are you kidding me?
As we've seen in the SEC this year, doesn't matter how pretty the kick is as long as it gets through the goalposts.
Isn't that the truth?
21 seconds to play, and it's looking like another overtime classic between Alabama and LSU. Man, they played a bunch in this series.
Man, what did we do to deserve this? I mean,
endured a lot of lopsided games, brother, all season long.
This is insane.
Well, what a show for these people here. I mean, obviously what's at stake is enormous on both sides. But this has been pure entertainment if you're a neutral looking in here. Alabama with 24 or 15 points here in the 4th quarter. And it's been an eventful day for the CFP rankings, brought to you by Allstate. Talked about the troubles of Clemson losing at Notre Dame. Their first loss, they'll plummet out. TCU held on. Georgia figures to jump to #1, you would figure, over Ohio State with the win?
Yeah, I would think so. Ohio State, as you mentioned, has struggled.
Michigan was behind at Rutgers for a while.
Yeah, they've had trouble with them for whatever reason, but they're up huge now. And we got Alabama and LSU, TCU wins.
Here we go. If you're Brian Kelly, do you
he's just going to
play it a little conservative here?
Yeah, he just looks like he's already going to take a knee and head to overtime. The crowd's not feeling that.
Well, it's a sensible decision, I think.
Yeah.
What a 4th quarter. Incredible. 4 lead changes, and then Alabama with the field goal to force overtime. Take a deep breath. A whole lot at stake, and another magic night on the Bayou here. Back with OT after these messages. Coin toss, second one tonight. Ken Williamson will flip it in the air, and we'll see who's going to go on defense first, because that's always the call if you win the toss, of course. LSU won the toss, and Bryce Young and Alabama will be on offense, and he pointed to the direction away from the students. Just got to take a deep breath after all the excitement of the last few hours here. Of course, the rules have changed in recent years. Should this thing extend beyond the first overtime period, you got to go for two after a touchdown start with the second OT, and then after that it's just a 2-point conversion contest, of course. Can you stand it if it comes down to that?
When does that start? After which possession?
The third overtime.
Third overtime, okay. Was it Penn State, Illinois that went back and forth last?
There were something like 9 failed 2-point tries in a row.
Just kept going and going and going.
Will Reichard with that clutch field goal to force this OT. Comes the kicking career scoring leader. 387 points. Surpassing Lee Tiffin, who was a clutch kicker for the Tide. So now, Bryce Young right back to work. Bill O'Brien thinking, what's my best stuff here?
This is like two boxers going out in the last round kind of thing. The wear and tear on these bodies physically, emotionally. Who can
more on the defenses, you think?
Yeah. Oh, man. And it's not to mention how physical a battle this thing's been.
Gibbs stacked up and knocked down after a 2-yard gain.
Ironically, they both coming off of a bye week. How do you handle that bye week? You know, you have 2 weeks to try to get ready, not just with the preparation, but staying in shape, game shape off of a bye week. And now here you are in overtime at a slugfest. He loves Latu, the tight end in this area, and he's always a threat to scramble and get the ball to Gibbs out of the backfield.
Young sidesteps traffic, motors right on cue. Kirk, it's a first down. He's at the 11. The escapability, the improv skills.
Yeah, they play man-to-man, so this is much like what we've seen with Daniels on the other side. Where's the spy this time? They don't have it. See the pressure to the far right? That's the freshman, Perkins, so there's no one there. Everybody has their back turned, and Bryce Young has the same ability to escape as his buddy from Little Leagues, Jaden Daniels, on the other side. No one to spy him, and he had room.
You make a great point. The wear and tear in these defenses, trying to chase down quarterbacks in OT, a serious challenge. Gibbs on the check down, muscled out, and about the 6 by Fouché.
Yeah, the two guys that they're, of course, wanting to make sure they give special attention to is Gibbs out of the backfield, and the big tight end, Latu, because of his matchup concern at 6'5", 245, and has great hands and athletic ability. He's tough for a backer or a safety. That time Gibbs slips out, gets some really good yards there.
One little more drama. The wind has brought in some mist in the bayou here. Cool mist in overtime. Young looking to his right, throws to the end zone, batted in the air, incomplete. Fouché got a hand in on Brooks that time.
Well, he watched Brooks the whole time coming on the blitz. Watch his eyes. He's watching him right now. He sees him, got the slant, boom. And then pretty good coverage again by Bernard Converse with the left hand. Try to keep that right hand off from grabbing onto the hip, but the left hand works around to knock that ball away, but he read Brooks on the blitz to give him that potential slant.
What a game Bernard Converse has had tonight.
And he's played incredibly well.
The pick earlier, 3rd and 4. Young for the end zone, incomplete flag. There was a collision and interference to be called, that time on Sage Ryan, the nickelback.
Yeah, he held on to him. Really, I think struggled in coverage the whole time. Remember, he's a freshman, redshirt freshman.
Kelly claiming the ball was tipped at the line.
Defense number 15. Penalty will place the ball at the 2-yard line. Includes an automatic first down.
See if they have a case here about the ball being deflected.
It was Mekhi Wingo, 92, if he did tip it. But see, look at that. I mean, he's holding on to him the whole time. Entire time in coverage.
No, there was no tip.
But if he, I think Brian Kelly's pretty adamant about checking out this. Look at, boy, he's been working these officials all night.
We're comparing him to a feisty former baseball manager.
Let's see if that 92. See if he gets a. Oh boy, I mean, does he? Bill, what do you got here?
They're going to review it. It's a tip pass. The tip pass is going to take off the interference.
You think that is a tip?
I have a tip pass on this one.
Really?
It's amazing, Bill. How do you see that?
I'm not sure he did. Let's back that up.
Yeah,
if it is, it's a fingertip.
Come on.
Ruling on the field with a pass interference against the defense and ruling that the pass was not tipped. The previous play is under review.
A tip pass is a tip pass.
Of course, but here's a good look at it, Bill.
I mean, the ball rotation doesn't get affected.
Come on, Bill.
By it.
Talk
you
to me
you saw a
here,
fingertip
man.
there?
You said it like it's a given. I'm like, what are you talking about?
They're going to review it, and we have one view that shows the ball being tipped by a finger.
So you
right? That would be the view you're talking about, right? Are you positive you can see that's tipped? I mean, and that's the difference between first and goal.
He said it like, what are you talking? Why are you even asking me about this? Well, I'm glad I'm not in that booth making this call.
Hey, they've had their work tonight. Not only have the officials on the field done a job, but that replay booth, they've been busy and they've been on the money.
There was the weird call where it was a fumble by Latu, but then it was ruled that he touched the ball with the fingertip. Well, he was out of bounds, and that gave Bama possession back earlier.
If we go back, if this ends up being tipped and they reverse this, it's going to be 4th and 4.
Yep.
Not 4th and goal, 4th and 4 at the 6-yard line.
I mean, you see what you want to see. The LSU fans are convinced they're showing into the Jumbotron that was touched.
And of course, I have Bama fans texting me saying, what are you talking about? That ball wasn't tipped. So you're right. Which lens are you looking at?
I mean, if it was touched by a fingertip, it wasn't enough to change the spin or the trajectory of the ball.
But that's not the rule.
No, I know. But I mean, you're trying to judge, was it touched? You look for the ball behaving differently after it was touched.
Well, this is going to be really interesting.
Think?
Ooh, here we go.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
So no tipping of the ball. The interference call will set Alabama up at the 2, first and goal.
I couldn't see it personally, but everybody.
I didn't think it was enough evidence that he definitely touched it because the ball didn't change trajectory at all.
But the emotion on the field with these head coaches, you just saw Nick Saban up and down the sideline, fired up. Now we got Brian Kelly. I think you and I saw it the same way.
Of course, it comes down to a replay where the tip of his glove touched the pigskin. Here we go. Fresh set of downs, 2 yards away from taking the lead in the top of the first. Six-0 lineman in for Bama. Gibbs is the back. Gibbs has it, but doesn't get there. Stopped at the 1, second down.
Yeah, they're slanting, angling that way. Gibbs runs hard for a guy that's so fleet-footed, 5'11", 200 pounds. He has an ability to get behind his pads, lower his shoulder, but a good job there by that LSU front.
All those days on the squat rack trying to build leg strength. And then, of course, there's just the will.
Oh, yeah.
To get the job done. Wardell Williams, the power back, is in. It's Williams' turn. And he's knocked down short of the goal line by Ojulari. 3rd down.
Ojulari holding on to that edge of that defense. Does a good job of getting off his block. And then he's just able, with his power, 250 pounds, boom, right there. I mean, he makes that hit. Williams goes straight back, straight down and backwards. But they're inside the 1 yard line now. Here we go.
Wardell Williams puts Alabama on top with his 2nd touchdown tonight. Junior from Hueytown, Alabama.
How about the block here by the right guard, Ekiyor? Watch this right here. You get pressure potentially here, some penetration. Nope. Take him away. Gives your back a chance to get to that next level. Accelerate through contact. But a heck of a block there by the big man at right guard, the 5th-year senior, Ekiyor.
McCorker took 7 plays and a penalty to grind out 25 yards and take the lead here. BAT makes the margin 7. Another look at Ekiyor. We talked about the war in the pit extending beyond regulation tonight.
Absolutely, he's fired up. He knows he just made a pivotal block late in this game. Continue to tip our caps to what these teams are enduring tonight. This is a heavyweight. This is a not only going into overtime, but the emotion. I mean, the game's gone back and forth, and sometimes the emotions of a game can wear you down as much as just the physicality of it.
And most people doubted that this LSU team even qualified as a heavyweight in the same class as Alabama coming in. Big underdogs. Team that was reeling after getting blasted by Tennessee. Battled back with 2 wins coming from behind to make this one relevant, and then consistently answering the challenge from Alabama tonight. Now they have to do it one more time.
And then on top of all that, you throw what's at stake for both of these teams, what it means for both of these teams. That's why they're giving it everything they have. Keep their hopes alive.
And what can Jaden Daniels do? Will his legs play a part in this OT as Young's did? Keeper escapes, makes a cut. Daniels in space. He'll score! Everybody who plays him comes up and says after it, dude, you're way faster than I thought you were. Alabama will be the latest team to say that.
That's what an answer.
Look out, he's going for the win right now. Kelly says, forget kicking a PAT here and playing for double OT. We're going for 2 and the dub and control of the SEC West. What an enormous call.
Alabama's going to call a timeout, I'm sure, to try to get everybody on the same page. How about the aggressive approach by Brian Kelly here?
Aggressive's one way to put it. Wow.
Yeah. Timeout in Alabama here.
I think Kelly charged down too to call a timeout on this side. Another look at this touchdown run.
Yeah, it's a zone read right here. So he's trying to figure out if he's going to collapse down or stay wide. He decides to pull it. But what's impressive are the blocks. 1, 2, and eventually 3. The running back that gets downfield, Williams. Look at these guys trying to help out and making blocks. I look to the right. Are you kidding me? These receivers blocking like that? And so Daniels is fast, but Taylor, the freshman, makes a heck of a block along with the receivers downfield.
And how about this call here? I mean, Alabama had 12 guys on the field there, not totally prepared for what Kelly was apparently deciding to do. I'm telling you, it's cojones, can you say, to go for the win right here?
Must have thought, hey, if they score and we score, we're going for 2. I like it. It shows that you believe in your players. You're seeing more and more of this in the NFL. Players respond to it. Brian Dable's doing that with the Giants after all this. Comes down to one play to win.
NFL doesn't have the same significance in the regular season as college football, though. 3 plays for the win.
Alabama sees the personnel, is able to have time to adjust and get their bigger defensive linemen in.
Bama's got to get a stop or their playoff hopes are over.
Wow.
They still had an extra guy in the field, barely get him off. Daniels for the win. Caught! It's good! LSU does it! Mason Taylor! He was playing high school football a year ago. Taylor with a touchdown and the clinching 2-point conversion and a field rush for the ages. And a night they'll never forget in Baton Rouge.
Brian Kelly, aggressive, and it pays off. Shows the trust that he has in his quarterback, Jaden Daniels, as you take a look at Bryce Young, who fought valiantly on a night that wasn't necessarily his best night with he and his receivers. But it comes down to Brian Kelly's call with Jaden Daniels.
And on cue, a huge fog has rolled in to Tiger Stadium. We'll see if the fog is cleared on the field. Holly with Brian Kelly, there's a lot to ask him.
Coach Kelly, how do you decide to go for the win in that moment?
It just felt like the right time. Our guys, they played so hard and bit emotional. I just love the way our guys competed, and I didn't want to keep going in overtime. Just felt like it was the right time to try to win the game.
You make a great play call there. What was in your mind when you made that play call?
Wanted to get 5 on the edge. He's, you know, you put him on the edge, good things are going to happen. Made a great decision. The 2 freshmen played so great today. Taylor made 2 big plays for us. I'm so proud of our players. And this crowd, unbelievable. They've made such a difference today. Amazing.
Coach, I see the tears welling up in your eyes. That is not your personality. Why does this matter so much?
It's just to come here and restore the pride and tradition of this program just means so much. And I've been welcomed down here, and it just feels so good to return the faith and trust that they've given to me.
How does this build the trust moving forward, getting a big win like this?
Yeah, so now we got to make sure that it doesn't affect our preparation for Arkansas. We're going to enjoy this for 24 hours and get back to work and play a really good Arkansas team.
Thank you, Coach Kelly.
Thanks, Holly. Appreciate it.
Jaden, I've got you right here. Maybe the biggest run of your young life. Tell me what you did on that first zone play in overtime.
The coaches called the play. I knew I had to make a play. You know, my teammates did a great job blocking. I give all credit to God, you know, putting me in this position. I can't be more blessed. Great block by Josh Williams, you know, freed me up. You know, we won the game from that.
What went through your mind when Coach decided to go for it and try to win this game and not tie it? What did you think when you got the play call signaled in?
Man, I wanted Coach to go for it. You know, I just showed the trust he has in me. You know, game on the line, he knows I'm always step up, you know, make a play. So I'm very appreciative of Coach for that.
It wasn't just this play, this overtime. You had to have another winning drive. 5 minutes left to play in this game. How did you have the composure down the stretch?
Yeah, that's just me, you know, always being cool, calm, you know, collective, you know, and I give all thanks to God, you know, putting me in positions like this. You know, I'm blessed. You know, I wouldn't change it for the world.
The fans have rushed the field. People are losing their mind here. What does this win do for you and your football team to build confidence in what Coach Kelly's building?
Right. You know, Coach Kelly knows what he's talking about, you know, building the confidence. You know, we got more games to go, but, you know, we're going to celebrate this one.
Thank you, Jaden.
Thank you.
Both guys talked about their duels in Pop Warner, and just like then, it was Jaden Daniels coming on top against Bryce Young. Wow.
Look at this scene, bro. I mean, look at this. By the way, Jaden Daniels has come a long way from Tempe, Arizona to this scene.
They had a rough year a year ago.
In a
Sun Devils. Here's the touchdown to set up the game-winning two-point try.
Yeah, this is a great throw. Get him on the edge, get him to the corner, and the freshman, Mason Taylor, makes the catch, who had such a big night. Young man out of St. Thomas Aquinas gets to the corner, and Brian Kelly, we first guessed, whether he got that or not, I would have applauded the effort, considering where LSU's been this year, early in the year, to where they are tonight, now controlling their destiny to win the West, get to Atlanta. Nick Saban obviously frustrated that they weren't in position to make a play, but give Brian Kelly all the credit, man.
And his second loss will, by all accounts, remove Alabama from the playoff consideration, considering what Brian Kelly inherited when he walked in here. Yeah, they won a championship here 3 years ago, but the roster was depleted. Like 39 scholarship players. It was a mass exodus after the bowl game. Yet, people gave him a great chance to get the glory back here, but not this quickly.
Oh.
Here's how Chris Rule described it on the LSU radio network.
Alabama can't get the players off the field. They just got him off. They had 12 on the field. Here we go. Snap to Daniels. Sprint out. Throw to the right. Caught. Right corner of the end zone. Mason Taylor. Tigers win. Tigers win. Hey now. 32-31. And the fans storm the field. Wow.
That's the word. Wow.
Brian Kelly says we're going to win this.
Wow is right. 8 lead changes in the game after halftime. What a decision, and the trust in his quarterback and his offense rewarded there at the end.
Yeah, and to see him emotional, if you don't know Brian Kelly, that is incredibly rare to see him get choked up like that. I think it's because he's so proud of his team. He believed in them. He went with the call. The players, by the way, tonight is not just a big win. Him deciding to go for that call, that's another way of winning this team over. And look out for the Tigers. They are right now in control of their own destiny to get to Atlanta and keep their hopes alive of winning an SEC championship.
Win the team over. Win the state over.
Win everybody. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the program, not just this year, but moving forward.
Oh, my God. I'm never going to forget that.
That was a monumental call for the program of the future, not just winning 32-31.
And Jason Taylor's son, the NFL Hall of Famer, Mason, a huge part of this win tonight, and makes the game-winning catch. This is the cut. Yeah, the touchdown run.
Some great blocks. Taylor was involved in that. Incredible block by Jaray Jenkins, who's known for his blocking, and then the two-pointer. Get the ball out, fifth step, give the young freshman a chance to get to the corner, and he does, and now he's with his mom. I mean, he's living a dream, man.
Wow.
Crying on his mom's shoulder.
And LSU is in charge of the SEC West and not out of the playoff hunt. What a classic. Unforgettable evening in Baton Rouge. 32-31 in OT. Bill Bunnell produced it. Derek Motley directed. Tremendous job by our crew. For Kirk and Holly and Bill and the Bear and Marty. So long from Baton Rouge. Hope you enjoyed it.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference.